beautiful people. Good evening. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday. Hey, Obodo fam. Good afternoon. Good morning. Welcome back. How's everyone doing today? Thank you very much for stopping by and making it a date with us tonight. Let me be sure my laptop is charging so it's not going to just pack up. This boy keeps moving my equipment. Even though I've warned him repeatedly not to touch this table. Be sure that it's charging. Okay. I hope everybody is good today. Welcome. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Really appreciate you. So today we're having the much anticipated show. We talked about this a while ago and we did say we're going to discuss it extensively because I think it was just in passing we mentioned about raising one of the shows where we're doing parenting. We talked about, raising boys in the diaspora, and I invited people. I said, if you've done it, you've raised boys. Because I hear boys are harder. I think boys are harder, to be honest. Boys are harder to raise. I hear some girls are not, they are not easy too. But boys, it's a lot of work raising boys, especially in this part of the world, in the diaspora. It's a lot of work. So as you are coming in, please give us a thumbs up. I've got Uncle Ade in the studio. He's my special guest of honor of Timber and Caliber. And I'm going to be adding him in a minute because we have quite a lot to cover about this. And I mean, I want people who've done it. If you've been there, you've done it, you are wearing the t-shirt very boldly. I want you to join the conversation and please share with us. So I'm going to be looking at it from the point of view of what people did that worked for them. What did you do as a parent in the diaspora? Parenting is one of the hardest thing. It's the hardest job in this world, period. It is. It is hard. Being a parent is not a joke. It's not a walk in the park. But some people have managed to do it and they've done it successfully. So I want to be looking at it from the point of view of those who've done it, how you did it, what worked for you, and what didn't work for you. That's what I would like us to talk about. Okay? So if you've raised boys and they are adults now, and you can score yourself. Something funny happened today when we're on our way to church. I went to church today. I had the boys in the car with me. Let me show you, in case you don't know my boys. We've got 3 boys, and 2 of them are adults. One is a teenager, and one of them is no longer living at home. It's only this is the only 2. So these are 3 boys. That's Josh, and that's Toby that most of you will be familiar with, and that's PJ at the back is the last one. So I had Toby in the car and PJ, and I said I wanted to ask them because you can't set exam by yourself and score yourself. So I wanted to ask their opinion about this topic tonight. So I said to them, I said, you know what, guys, I'm having this show tonight. It's about parenting, and I want you to tell me, how do you think we've done? How well do you think we've done? Tell me about my own particular one, because your dad that's a different conversation. So I said, tell me. And they started talking one by one. I'll share with you briefly before Uncle Ade joins us. I'll share with you what my boys said. Because you never know. This thing, parenting, there is no manual to it. You learn, you read books, you do everything. But sometimes you get it wrong sometimes. Because you're a human being, right? So yeah, congratulations to all the moms and dads who raised their children successfully. It is not an easy thing. I don't know about you guys, but that's one area that parenting, I have struggled with it. I have. I'm not gonna lie. It's not an easy thing. Cynthia, you said Toby is my handbag. It's no longer my handbag. Oh, back in the day, it was my handbag. Now he's 18 years old now, so he doesn't even have my time anymore. Come and see Shakara now. Everything is Shakara Oloji. So I said to them, I said, tell me, how do you think I've done? This parenting thing. I said, do you think I'm a good parent? I said, don't say it because I'm your mom and I'm here. Just tell me the truth. Do you think I've been a good parent? And PJ said, yes, so far, yes. He said, so far. Like, you are 16 years old. What is so far? In another 2 years, pack your load and go to university and leave my house. What do you mean so far? And Toby was, you know how he is, was like, yes, yes. I said, no, tell me, how have I done? I want you guys to rate me, my parenting. What do you think I've done right, and what do you think I should have done better? She said, and Toby was like, yeah, I've made mistakes. I said, yeah, of course. I'm sure I've made mistakes. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. You are children. You are not perfect. You don't know what it means to raise you. But tell me. So I'll just run quickly. I have 7 points that they told me. I'll share with you. Uncle Ade has jumped out too. I don't know what happened. Uncle Ade, please come back while I'm just giving this brief introduction. It was interesting. Okay, so I'm very intentional in my parenting. I don't think I'm the best parent out there, but I do my best. I do what works for me, right? But one thing that I made up my mind to do from when I got married and started having children was that I am not going to raise my children the way my parents raised me. Okay? It was very, very important to me as a young mother that my children feel very comfortable to me and with me to come to talk to me. That was a big deal for me. I wanted children who can walk up to me and talk to me about anything and everything. It was so important to me that my children can open up to me and talk to me. I wanted to be my children's, I'm not their friend, but I want to be friendly with them. I don't know if you get the distinction. I'm their parent, I'm their mom, but I also wanted us, to have a friendly kind of relationship. So whereby they can talk to me about everything and anything, without being afraid or without being scared or without saying, okay, she won't understand. I wanted to be a cool mom, right? So I've always tried my best, to have that conversation, to always make sure that we're able to, have conversations. But have I made mistakes along the way? Oh, yeah, I'm sure I have, because the diaspora parenting thing is on another level. Raising children in the diaspora is on another level. In Nigeria, when we're growing up, it takes a village to raise a child. It's not only your parents that raised you. They were uncles and aunties. They were aradugbo. There were people in the community who can hold you accountable, who knew your parents. But here in abroad, hmm, hmm, okay, it was not easy. It's not easy and it's a lot of work. So the first thing they said to me was constructive parenting. This was from Toby. He said constructive parenting. Hey, since this boy did psychology in college, in A levels, we won't hear word again. Everything now will be quoting psychology. I say, I beg. What is constructive parenting? Break it down. Aja ko ye mi. Break it down, Mr. Psychology. This is an old picture, by the way. This is a few years ago. They are much older now. Toby has a whole full face of beard now, So this was a few years ago. It was Daddy was birthday. We were in a restaurant having dinner. So this is an old picture, about 4 years ago. Yeah. So he said that he likes constructive parenting, whereby when a child um this is the way he wrote it because I made him write it down. Say, when a child performs undesirable behavior, you understand, correct, and then give punishment. He wrote it like someone that is writing an essay. I said, what do you mean? Break it down. I want to understand what you mean. So what he was basically saying is that when they've done something that, is wrong, instead of just, punishing them or giving them or disciplining them, first of all, you need to let them know, you know, that this behavior is not good and why it is not good. Explain to them why it is not good. And then understand where they are coming from, why they may have behaved the way they do, the way they did, right? Before you correct them. Because he was saying that most times we just jump to the point of correction without even having that conversation. Hey, you don't want to know. Since this boy took psychology, hey, everything now is so like he will go deep and be quoting all the psychology Ah, I say, please take it easy on me, okay? I know you did psychology, but Nisuru. Let me open this door. I'm sweating. A second, please. Uncle Ade, we are still waiting, oh. I don't know, maybe it's Uncle Ade's connection, but he's just jumped off the studio. Okay, sorry about that. See, I'm sweating. I opened the door to get some air. Please give us a thumbs up as you are joining in. Right. So he said that you need to let them understand, why the behavior is bad, you know, and correct them thereafter. Then give punishment. Okay. The one that PJ said, the first one that PJ said was open conversations. He said he likes open conversation with no hierarchy. Can you see these children? No hierarchy. Pekini. Who is the parent? Who is the child? No hierarchy. Kojo. Mm. There must be hierarchy. There's a role for parents and a role for children. So that no hierarchy, scratch it. Me, I don't believe in that. I didn't even see that before. Like I said, they wrote it down. He said no hierarchy, that there should be open conversation, that you should be able to have conversations, with your children, open conversation whereby you allow them to express themselves, right? Oh my God. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to manage this. You allow them to express themselves and, having conversations. I think at a point when they get to that stage, when they become teenagers, having those conversations is very, very important to them. It's important to children because they get to a certain stage, where you just have to negotiate with them. You have to understand. I asked, oh, see me see trouble, Drulo. I asked and they answered. Can you see the answers? They wrote it down. The third one is I mean, at a certain age, those conversations are compulsory. You must, even if you are not having those conversations when they are babies. When they become teenagers, you must. The third one is said. I think PJ said this one. He said old forms of parenting don't work. He said the way you were parented, you cannot parent your children. He said old forms of parenting don't work. I said, what do you mean by that? He gave me an example. When we're in Nigeria, if your parents tell you to get up, get up, get up, you don't get up, they will go and take water and sprinkle it on you. How many of you experienced that? Your parents did that, your mom or dad did that to you. Yeah, it was very common back in the day. Do we think that is still, should we still do that in today's society, like in this day and age? I think that's what he meant. I've never done it. Let me put my hands up. I've never done that. In Miko, I didn't do it. You experienced it, right? They will go and sprinkle water on you. Stand up, stand up, stand up. So I think there was an incident that happened not too long ago where it was a Sunday. So they were supposed to wake up to go to church and they can be very, very sluggish. And it's annoying when you are talking to your children to get up and they are not answering you quickly the way you want. And that's the thing that usually gets our daddy very angry. He wants, when he's telling you, do it immediately, but they want to take their time. Give me 5 minutes, give me 2 minutes, give me 10 minutes. They'll be negotiating. So he said that daddy was sprinkled water on him. He was very upset. He said he doesn't like it. That's old kind of discipline and that is not right. We shouldn't do that. That's the feedback my children were giving me today. Number 4, bonding experience. He's saying that some parents don't spend time with their children. That it's good to do things together, like you go bowling, maybe you have activities together, go to the cinema and things like that. They like it. So the times that we've done things like that, even with other families, that they enjoyed it. Yeah. Fumi said, let me see comments. I still do that for my 21-year-old son. When you're waking him up to go to college, wow, you still sprinkle him water. I don't agree with that. That's me personally, but I don't agree with it. I don't think they like it. I think they should maybe just teach them to set the alarm. You see the funny thing about this waking up thing? During the week, I don't wake my children up to go to school. They set their alarm and they wake up. Sometimes I don't even see them in the morning. They've gone to school before I wake up. So they should have that discipline whereby they should be able to wake up and get to school. At 21, that's an adult. I don't think you should be doing that, Auntie Fumi. Yeah, at 21, maybe he should have learned, or he needs to learn if he's lazy, because I know that's another thing we need to look at. Boys have a tendency to be lazy. Or maybe he's not going to bed on time. That's another thing. If they stay up at night, and they are playing games, then waking up in the morning becomes a problem. But definitely sprinkling water, I don't think we should be doing that. Me, I don't agree with it anyway. But at 21, that's a full-grown adult. Should be able to wake himself up. So there's some laziness going on there. He should be, yeah. Time management is very, very important. Punctuality is very, very important. You see, children, they are very, very funny. Oh. I'm telling you. You see children, they have the same parenting, they have the same upbringing, they live in the same house, but they sometimes they will be like as if they are not even related. So you see the young one with my two last ones now. PJ is very good with punctuality. Very. He's extremely good. He will set his alarm, he will wake up by himself, he will get himself ready, he will get himself to school, and he's almost never late. Almost never late. He's good like that with time. You know why? Because he doesn't like stress. So he likes to get to school on time without having detention or having the school calling us to say you are late. But you see, Toby is more relaxed. He's always playing it like he has alarm, but he will snooze it for 5 minutes. He will snooze it for 5 minutes until he's almost late. He's always playing with time like that he always wants to last minute. Is the last bus that he will take. So yeah, children can be very, very different like that. But they didn't say that they enjoyed bonding experiences that we've had and things like that. They like going out to their parents, hanging out, talking to them about life, teaching them different things. They like that. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 5, feedback that I got from my own children was they said they didn't like it when we compared them to other children. How many of you have done that? If you're a parent, all of us are sitting on this table. We say, did you not see your friends? Did you not see your friend in church? Did you not see? They say they don't like it. They say they don't like that comparison at all. That's the feedback they gave me. I've done this one. I've done it repeatedly. But you know what? Since they told me, I stopped doing it. Yeah, I stopped doing it. Ijoma said, I have a 13-year-old. He set his alarm, gets up and get himself to the bus and school on his own. Yeah. Once they're in secondary school, they should be able to do that. But you need to make sure that, because what I have learned with my own parenting style is that children like routine, and they like when something, you've specified it for them. Don't allow them to just wing it. So for instance, if they know that bedtime is 9 o'clock, then you don't need to be dragging going to bed every day. They already know. So you need to set those rules. It works all the time. So they know that it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, depending on their age, that is bedtime. So if you tell them if it's 9 o'clock, you say, what's the time? Is it bedtime? They will just know. Whatever they are doing, they'll stop it and go and sleep. So yeah. Cynthia, yeah, we are good at comparison. Did you not see your friend? Your friend got all A's. How come you are getting 3A and 4B? How come you didn't get all A's? Yeah. I think they also enjoy it when we praise them, when they do good. Acknowledge, some of when they do well, acknowledge it. I think they have a problem with Daddywa with this one, because with Daddywa, especially with school, when they come home with the result from the school, the expectation the children want is that they want you to praise them for the ones that they did well. Like if they have, I don't know what they call their grades now. They keep changing their grades in England. I don't even know what they call it now, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3, whatever they call them. Uncle Ade, welcome.
Thank you. No, Sister B, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I was using the time to update
yes,
them about
I heard you. That was good, but I have a problem with my computer, but it's good now. So yes, we're good.
All right. I'll just run through it very quickly. So they don't like comparison, and they want you to acknowledge when they do well. Okay. African parents tend to focus on only when they haven't done well. But when they do well, acknowledge it. Oh, you got an A here. You got an A star here. Oh, what happened? Why did you get a C in this one? Why did you get a D? What can we do? Let's look into it so that we can support you. At an age, they like that. They don't want you to always. The thing that most of us as African parents tend to do is that we just gloss over the A's and the A stars. We don't, give them any accolades for that, and we just go on the ones that they didn't get good grades and say, "Hey, this is maths. Why did you get a D? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this?" And we hammer on that. Yeah, they don't like that. They definitely don't like comparison. Number 6, my children said balancing love and discipline. So they said that sometimes when you love, express that love. So they like the hugs, the cuddles, the kissing. I'm very affectionate. So I teach my children to be affectionate. I don't know how many times you guys have seen me doing live stream here. You see them when they come in anywhere in the house, even when I'm streaming, they will come here and give me a kiss because that's the way I've taught them. So kissing when going, kissing when you come in. You must hug and kiss when you go and come like that. So they are used to it now. And also teaching children about being affectionate, especially boys. Remember, we're talking about boys. It makes them grow up to be affectionate men.
Yes.
So when they become adults and they, have relationship, they are affectionate. Yep. If they never receive any hugs, you've never hugged them, you don't kiss them, you never taught them, they will be emotionally, they can't show any affection.
Yes.
So they are saying that as much as you discipline, when you have 2 parents household, there's a bad cop and there's a good cop. So in my own house, I'm the good cop because I'm the one that is doing I'm the ones that allows them to get away with a lot of things. I'm not that disciplined person. And daddy is the one that, is the bad cop, bad in quotes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they need that as well. They need that discipline as well. Boys need discipline. So that why is very, very good at balancing that. The last one they said to me is number 7. They say, let the punishment fit the offense. Right. When they do something and I get angry, I say, give me an example. Toby was the one I gave that one. Toby said that, okay, if I'm staying too long on the game, for instance, take the game away, but don't stop me from going out. That it's got nothing to do with it's got nothing to do with that. That let the punishment fit the offense.
The crime.
Let it fit the crime. But me, I will go all out and say, no going out, no game, no phone, no this, no TV, no friends. People that don't know how to discipline, we want to discipline, we overdo it. We overdo it. So that's the 7th feedback my children gave to me. But you know what? I'm really glad in my heart. I think I'm a good parent. I'm a good parent, yeah. But I really wanted them to tell me how they feel about my parenting. And I'm glad that, they gave me some really, really good feedback. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy that, we are learning as we go. You learn on the job, but, that's where we are. Uncle Ade, welcome so much.
Sister B, thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me to the studio.
Thank you,
before I go on, I would like everybody to share a like and give us a thumbs up. Please give some love to Sister in the house. She's doing a wonderful job.
Thank you,
sir. Please, we want you to show some love and let's share this. Wow, this is, I've been thinking about it since yesterday when you called my attention to this topic. One thing I want to share with our Obodo family is there is no book or there's no anything that you read that will tell you exactly how to raise your child. It's an intuition. It's an everyday thing that you have to learn as you are living with your children. And for me, it's I have, for disclosure purpose, I will not here to give everybody, I'm just giving example. And I'm talking from wisdom of how I raise my young men and how they become successful, a good citizen. That's what I'm sharing today. We're not telling everybody that this is how you must do it and this is how to do it. But you have to find a way within yourself to know that there's a way to take things, to put things into perspective and to correct our action. You have said it all, and your children have really get to the key point, because exactly what they say, I wrote it down here.
They were
Exactly.
scoring me today. They
No,
scored my parenting. Oh
I'm
my
telling you.
goodness.
Number one, this is what I wrote down, and I'm going to read it. I said, your children are gifts from God or universe. You have to nurture, cherish, and love them with tenderness. Environments to nourish, not your capital investment. Your children are not your capital investment. So that's, as a parent, that's what you need to know. And then you have to know that first point that I give, and I will say it, is give a foundation to survive the world around them. The boys, we attend to, because I come from 7 boys. My mother don't have a female. And I end up having three young men, just something like you, Sister B. My oldest son is 32. Second one is 28. And the last one is 25. So you can see their race, they are all grown up. So what we, as a parent, and I will say this, and I wish my wife was here, and I will give my wife the credit. We raise our children as a partner. I did not raise my children by myself. And whatever they become today is by our work that we put into their upgrading, and by the grace of God. I'm not saying my children are this thing, but it's by the grace of God. You must do the work and walk the walk. You cannot say God is even when you are in a what do you call it, a religious structure, thinking that you give your children the best religious setup and everything. My sister, obodo family, there's no 100%.
Yeah.
There is no 100%. Boys, we have because when I see my boys, they have the tendency of, they want to do things, especially when they reach the age of their hormones.
Yeah.
When they started teenage years.
Yeah.
And they're ready. These are the moments your children is going to be resentful.
Yeah.
And they will ask you every single question in the world. Please, and please, parent, I'm asking you a big favor. Find time to listen to them. Find time to get the answer to what they ask for. Don't say, I don't know. Because our attitude with Nigerians, yes, don't dismiss them.
Don't be dismissive.
Because we go with a prayer, I don't know, and then you walked away.
You ask too many questions. Why are you asking too many questions?
Thank you. Why you have so many questions? Oh, go and sit down. That is not how you raise children in diaspora. Because you know what? Whatever you do, unless you want to tell me that you school your children in your house and they're under you 24/7, that's where you would think you can control your children. No, you don't have absolute control over your children. Because when they go to school, it's a different scenario. They listen to different messages. They listen to their friends. They listen to their colleagues. They even listen to their teacher. Because the teacher will tell them they have the right as a human being. Do I back home in Nigeria, do they tell a child you have a right? But these children in diaspora, they already tell them they have a right. And they will speak up. And that's why you have to understand your children, especially the boys. You must know how to deal with them, because you cannot just push them away. And they're thinking that they're going to become a good citizen. No.
Yeah.
And don't and your children have given you the key points. And this is very common among Obodo family. You are comparing your child to somebody else's child, or you are comparing your children with their sibling. Oh, you see your sister, she got A. You see your brother got B. What about you? Do you know that each individual child, God has programmed them individually?
Absolutely.
Some children are good, Sister P. Some children are good. Let's parents find time to discover their children. That's what God gives you. You are in the journey of discovery. So let you discover your children. He's good in certain sport, encouraging. He's good in book, encouraging. He's good in this area, encouraging.
Absolutely.
Show your presence with them. You see, when your kids they say this thing. Our children here, because I grew up, my parents just sent me to school. Our children here need emotional connection. It's not about oh, they want these sneakers, they want food, I provide them shelter. It's not enough. You have to give them emotional connection.
Yeah.
Their emotional connection is a substance foundation for them to survive out there. All right. So
Yeah.
for me, for my children, and this is what I'm going to share today, Sister B, I've never raised my hand to hit my children or beat them up.
Really?
Sister B.
I was gonna come to discipline later on.
Okay, so
But
we
I
come to
pinned this
that.
comment because Zami said something. Thank you so much, Onkwade, for those wonderful nuggets already. But our Patrick is in the studio, so we're gonna have a conversation around this. But I wanted to take this because Zamio said, I'm enjoying this topic. I'm struggling with my 3 boys who are under 10. So if they are under 10, you are still very, very lucky, babe. The age they are now,
It's good to improve.
it's not too
amend.
late at
It's
all.
It's not to amend. And
Under
then you
10,
have, and
under
then
10
Sister
for
B.
me, personally, I think under 10 is the easiest.
Yes. And then
Because
Sister
when
B,
they become teenagers,
yes,
that is when you see another side of boys.
and then they have to amend with love. Please emphasize this. They have to amend, they have to correct with love. Do not have that hammer mentality that whatever I say goes. And do not have these children to give you a feedback. Please don't do it. So another thing that I said, and I wrote it down, what they call, I say, listen attentively. Parents, practice what they call active listening. If your children are talking to you, do you listen to them, or do you write them off and shut them off? Or do you talk with them, or you talk at them?
Right.
This is what.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted you to take this before you carry on with listening and talking to children. Flaky Mo is asking a very good question here. She or he is saying, I think it's a she. Could you please explain more, Nkwade, about emotional connection? What do you mean by you need to have an emotional connection? Because when you hear the word emotional connection, you think it's only people in a relationship or marriage situation.
Emotional connection is you not doing anything in a haste, not doing anything with your children in a tickle of a second. Understand them, connect with them. Even though your emotional connection, even though they do something wrong at an instant moment, there's nothing wrong for a parent to apologize. So please don't. I'm not saying that
I do it all the time. I do that.
Please, there is nothing wrong for a parent to apologize if you know within yourself that you are wrong. Because what you're giving those children is for them is about their own way of coming to you. Emotional connection is that children that will come to you, they you see them, they are in certain isolation. They are something that you just maybe they want something in immediate time and you don't have time for them. You can excuse of them, say, can you give me a minute? I will take care of it when I get the time. That's the way you answer them. Don't just say, go sit down. You put them to the side. That's what I mean. Emotional connection is for you meeting your children at a certain stage of life. Meeting them at a certain stage of life. That's what I mean by emotional connection. Emotional connection is not just you and your husband or your spouse. Your children have emotion too, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Your children have emotion too because they have feelings. Anybody that is born to this world that have a feeling, that's emotion. Emotion comes from feelings. So you must know that.
Yeah, if I can add to what Nkwade said, since we are still talking about being emotionally connected to your children, the way my children, I mean, like we're all saying, what works for us is not everything that will work for you. You need to understand your children to know what works. That's why parenting is not something that, even if you read it in a book, you learn it. It might not work for that child. You need to know your children individually to know what works for them. But for me, the way I tried to build that emotional connection with my children is that from when they were young, I was very, very intentional about, making them understand that I see them and I hear them, and saying words of affirmation to them.
Yeah.
So telling them things like, I love you,
That's it.
You bring me joy. You say things that will make them smile. Oh, see how cute, Everybody likes being praised. Occasionally, it's not like you're going to spoil them with praising all the time, but
Exactly.
give them a healthy dose of that, emotional satisfaction by saying things to them. You do things to them and you connect to them. When you know how to connect to someone on an emotional level, connecting to their feelings. Thank you, pretty cool. I'm struggling with the words here. Pretty cool.
Acknowledging their feeling.
Acknowledging
Yes.
their feelings
Exactly.
and making sense of it, not
Yes.
just dismissing
This is
it,
them. Yes.
and
And,
making them
and,
understand that you understand that feeling.
and
Even though
Sister
they don't
B.
understand it, because children can be very confused about
Mhm.
even adults, we are confused about our emotions
Exactly.
sometimes.
And Sabi, I want to share this with my Obodo family. I, as a man, when I left Nigeria and I came here, I sat myself down and I look at the culture. Because don't get me wrong, we are living in diaspora. They have their culture. And do not always tell your children their culture over in Nigeria is better than. No, please. Your culture is good, but if you can give it to them, it's good in a new environment. And I will say this, parents that are listening today, I, as a parent, my failure as a Nigerian is I failed to teach my children Yoruba language.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I failed to teach them Yoruba language. And
Mm-hmm.
today, that's my only failure that I regret. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have the opportunity, teach your children your local language.
Yeah.
The Chinese do it.
Yeah.
The other two people do it.
Indians
The
do
Spanish
it. Yeah.
Indians do it.
Even
Why not?
Somalians, they
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
I mean,
it's only
kudos to a lot of
Nigerians-
Yoruba people, to be honest, Uncle Ade. A lot of Yoruba people teach their children. And no children that are born in this country in my church, they can't speak, but they hear every single word you say in Yoruba.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
because their parents were intentional about speaking the language and
Exactly.
teaching them about the culture.
Yeah.
Because another thing that children struggle with at a certain age in this part of the world is cultural identity.
Identity. That's it. You are confusing them. You say Nigerian culture is better. The way they are living day by day, you say their culture is bad. You are already confusing your children. Please say it loud and clear. Because they are not living in Nigeria. They are living in the diaspora. And where they're living, you keep telling them that it's not good. Come on.
Yeah.
Find a balance.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I found. Because for me, when my wife was working, I was working too. And what I'm talking about is like, God give me the grace to work with children who we call come from what we call dysfunctional family.
Right.
Children that I work with the group home, that children that their parents neglect them, that, they're orphan. I was able to work in that capacity for good 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what it means for what we call intercession, a therapeutic intercession in a child's life, especially when they are going through crisis.
Right.
Children don't know how to act when they are going through crisis. So it's for you as a parent to find the way to mediate, to find a solution to help your children. Because our children go through crisis. And the thing is that with my wife, I said, you know what? You have 9 to 5 job. Let me go on my own business. Anytime the school call, anytime my children need around me, I would just say I'm leaving because it's my business. I'm not saying, oh God, I need to clock the clean up. So that's what I decided. And it paid off for me because Sister B, I'm going to share this. I'm living the best part of my life at 62 as a person living in diaspora. Because when I go to bed, my children, I have nobody. I sleep good.
Because you don't have any worry over them.
I have any worry about it. I want to go on a trip. I call my wife. Let's go on a trip.
Thank God.
Thank God. Because that's what you need. Because you will see the excess of your sacrifice is at the end. Yeah. Because when you're living your life with your partner or with your so-called single individual, you are living at peace. That's that already says, and not to I give credit and I give love to every single parent on this platform. Yeah. And I do appreciate you for what you're doing.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Can you imagine? Yeah. I'm raising my own children with 2 heads. And you are doing it alone.
Yeah.
Please.
Even single parenting, yeah.
If you get a chance to listen to
at all.
If you get a chance to listen to this program, if you drink, I don't drink. Take a cup of wine, put it on the table, and
toast yourself. You are doing well.
Yeah. You are doing well.
Kukwa said, I connect emotionally. We're still talking about emotional connection with your children. Kukwa said, I connect emotionally with my kids by using their pet names. They love it. And
Aha.
Dr. Emeren said, emotional connection tip. I am very intentional about it. I go on dates with each boy, like
Yeah.
biking together or a walk
Yes.
sometimes, and they like it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, is
Okay.
having, the way you have relationship with adults is the same way
Yes.
you should have relationship with your children.
Thank you.
You need to have relationship with your children. You get to know them on an individual basis. I
That's
know
it.
sometimes it might not be easy because we live very busy lifestyle here. You are
Yeah.
working all these
Mhm.
hours, you are busy paying your bills, you are busy trying to, and as a result, some children might feel neglected. For instance, if you've never attended your children's PTA before, they are having, like it's the end of the year now. If they are still in primary school, that they have, class they have a show. They say they have Christmas show. They say parents
Aha.
should come,
And you
and
didn't go.
you've never gone. How do you think
Aha.
your children will feel when they look?
Yes.
Because I used to see how those children, and let me tell you
React.
something, Okwade, it was always the black children that their parents don't attend.
It is.
You will see Oyibo children, the husband will come, the
The
wife will
wife
come,
will
the
come.
grandparents will
The
come.
grandmother will
All of the,
come.
the family will come. But our black children, you see them, they'll be looking like this to see if their parents will come.
And then we
Unfortunately,
blame it,
they
and then we
catch
say that our
them.
children are bad, Sister
Yeah,
B.
and sometimes it's not the fault of the parents again. It's not because they don't want to come. But what
But is
fashion
it second?
they are
But
working.
Sister B, this is what I tell young couple, that you are living in diaspora and you sit down to have children. Have a good conversation with your partner, with your husband, with your wife. What are we going to put into this? Because no matter how much you make it, find a valuable time once in a while. I'm not telling you how to raise your children, but you see what the sister say? That's what exactly I did with my children. I go out and I want to share this. There was a time my wife, one Father's Day, I'm talking about 20 years ago. You know what my wife did? You said, this Father's Day this year, I want you to take your children to amusement park, you and your children. And that was my best gift of a Father's Day ever. Because I was able to run after them, and that's exactly what it is. And the thing is that a lot of men too, we need to step up our
Yes.
game. Men,
Mm-hmm.
I'm begging
Mm-hmm.
men who are listening to me tonight, you
Mm-hmm.
need to step up your game
Yeah.
raising your children.
Yeah.
It's not your wife alone.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
step up your game, because
Yeah.
if you have an opportunity, because what I tell a lot of people is that, Sister B, men will build character, but women, you guys build love and
Hmm.
affection. Do you
Hmm.
see the difference?
Yeah.
Men build character.
That's
Women build,
fathers. Fathers build character.
thank you.
And mothers
Women,
build love and affection. That's a very good combination.
that's
So
it.
that's why, unfortunately, I'm not even going to hide it, Uncle Ade. I've seen this over and over. I know we talk about, single parents raising children, but sometimes even in two parents families, it's only the woman that is doing the raising of the children.
Everything. Yes.
So I'm so glad that you are calling fathers to their responsibility now. Some fathers, they don't care. They never do anything with their children. They don't take them, even when they are boys. I'm talking about boys especially because the show is about boys, right? But all children need their father, whether boys or girls. So you see, boys, you go to the Bible salon, your children is your wife that will take them, your partner will take them to go and court them.
Exactly.
And they
Why?
have a father at home. You
Why?
hold
Why
remote
can't you
control and be
take?
watching TV.
Yeah.
You know, your
Yeah.
children want to go on trips, school trips. They don't show up for anything because they don't think it is important. And then when the children get to a certain age as teenagers and you don't have a relationship with them, you start to say, it's your mother that is teaching you against me. No, it's because you
That's
were not
exactly
involved.
it.
They
You're
don't know
not
you. You are
involved.
like a stranger to them.
Yes. And this is the problem that I have with a lot of men, especially my age group who came to diaspora. They have allowed that mentality from Nigeria to take away their responsibility, because a lot of us grew up in Nigeria. We don't have what we're talking about. We don't have it. And now they're not ready to change. And guess what? Their children grow up to be resentful. They don't want to be with them. Are you blaming that children for crying aloud? Why are you blaming the children? They don't want to be with you because, number one, you have not been with them when they need you. You have not been with them when they need you. So therefore, for you to come out now to say you need them, no, it's like you are playing playing catching. And sometimes this and especially when they go to college.
Mm-hmm.
When they go to college, that's it. Because they're on their own. They make a decision on their own. Even the secret part about, I don't know in UK how you guys do it. In America here, when my children was in college, their youngest one, because my youngest one was very smart, he went to college at the age of 16. I regretted it. Because this boy went to college, he couldn't go out because they should show your ID. He cannot hang out with his colleagues.
Because it's not old enough yet.
It's not old enough. So that's what I said. I should have held him back to say, because at the end of it, he did 2 years, he came back home. We have now to engineer his concept and brain. Because you see that isolation itself affected him.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, when you see your children, because even when he was in college, when I called his guardian and counselor, I asked him, how is my son doing that? Then you know what, Sister B? That's when I realized we are living a different world. They don't tell you this grade. Mm-hmm. They don't share it with you. They tell you, talk to your son.
Mm-hmm.
Because they believe when you go to college here, you're an adult. You know the right from wrong. And they will give you all that. They will not even call you as a parent. So therefore, it's how you grow your children, and that's the thing. So, Sister B, let me say this key point, and then we can talk about it. Number 3 that I have here is a discipline to get results or change behavior. Number 4, never underestimate their intelligence. Number 5, allow them to question you about anything with respect. Your life, number 6, your life is not your children's life. Number 7, a home built on character are bedrocks of good citizens. Number 8, always find a rewards to appreciate a certain behavior or good behavior. Never limit your children to your immediate social structure. Like church or any institution, let them explore other area. All right. 11, please, men, show presence in your children's life. That's it. And I tell you, in my own house, we eradicate the word punishment, because to us, punishment is an inflicted pain on an individual.
The right thing is discipline. I did something on that when I was training. There's a difference between discipline and punishment. Punishment is to inflict pain, but discipline is to change behavior.
That's it.
You're right.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Those are my points, my key point that I wrote down.
I wish we had time to go into details of all this, but there's one key one I want to raise before I come to Brother Patrick. I know Brother Patrick wants to say something, and he's also one of our very respected elders in the house. When you said your children's life is not your life, are you saying it? Because I was thinking about this as well when I was preparing for the show. A lot of African parents tend to want to live. They want to continue their life through their children. Like, if there are some things, for instance, you wanted to be a doctor and you couldn't be a doctor, you now want to force your child to live that dream of yours. Is that what you meant when you said that your children's life is not your life?
That's exactly what I meant. And what I meant is that allow to have a dialogue. You see what I use? Dialogue. Dialogue means that me and you will talk. I see your opinion as you see my opinion, even though you want them to be a doctor. You want them to be a lawyer. You want them to... Can you please sit down and have
whatever you want them to be? I think it's important for us to find out from them what they really want to be.
That's exactly what. All right, look, all my children. And one thing that I want to share today is that all my children are growing up in America. You guys know about the right of owning a gun. We never allow any toy guns in my children. Any toy gun that comes to my house, we get rid of it. Because in a child mentality, a toy becomes a reality, Sister B. A toy becomes a reality.
We don't use that word, Uncle Ade, because of this platform. Yeah,
toy.
It's the G word.
G word. All right. A toy, whatever thing that we delete something, yes, you have to you have to find a way to take it away, to know that whatever you ingrain your children. And that's why I say, when it's good to have within your children, they don't want to be a doctor, they know what they want. All my children, my first son reads criminal justice, and this is a child I raised. Is very so much computer, and I always thinking of, because we went all the way to Georgia Tech, thinking my son is going to be an engineer.
He was not interested in engineering.
So now he become a what do you call it? You read law, criminal justice. The second one, he's into his own way. He reads psychology. So and the third one, he went to University of what do you call it? Upstate New York, Rutgers University, with a scholarship. He wanted to be petroleum engineering. The boy came home after 1 year. He wanted to be accountant.
I mean, I think it's very important while we are talking about this. Dee said they want to live vicariously through their kids. That's why I'm a lawyer today. Yeah, a lot of African parents did that. They did that. Yeah. But I think I need to make this point clear. While we are talking about parenting, positive parenting, like my children, kindly told me today that they want positive parenting, constructive parenting. That's the word that my Oluwatobi used. This is not about your children becoming engineers, doctors. This is not what we are talking about, though, or your children going to university. One thing I've learned from living in the diaspora here is that Oyibo children, their primary concern for them is to raise healthy and happy children.
Yeah, happy citizens.
That is always their concern. One thing that is very important to them. But I find that a lot of African parents don't care about the happiness of their children.
No.
Like, they don't think children even there's anything they should be happy or sad about. You should be grateful that I'm feeding you. You are living in my house rent free. So why should you be sad or unhappy? Oyibo children, Oyibo are always very focused on, are their children happy? Are they healthy? I think we need to have that at the back of our mind. Once you have that at the back of your mind, it will guide some of the actions that you take, especially when it comes to choosing a career. How you support them on that part. Children will always need support. They will need encouragement and they will need guidance. But imposing your own life choices on children sometimes doesn't work, and they end up being resentful. They don't like the career, they are not happy, they are frustrated, and you don't want that. All right, thank you so much, Brother Ade. I'm going to come back to you in a minute, but let's hear Brother Patrick. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Auntie B.
Good evening. Welcome. Good afternoon from the US.
You guys are doing a great job. Thank you, Uncle Ade. Really appreciate you. I took a lot of notes. Oh my God, Sister B, God bless you. Yeah, I'm going to say a few points. My number one point, which Miss Auntie B really emphasized, and you have to be there. And Auntie B talked about being supportive and guidance, which is very important, especially when you are talking about boys. These boys, they experiment lots, and they have no clue of what they are doing. And that's why parents have to be there. And these boys are usually influenced by their peer group. They are usually influenced. They want to belong in school. I have one boy, my boy. I'm going to talk about my brother. He's going to be almost 70 now. My parent, this my brother is very close friend got deleted. His very close, tight friend got deleted because of what they were doing. They have to take this boy to out of state back then in Nigeria. They took him to a technical school. Yeah, this guy went to technical school. He came back. He worked with SCOA. He came to America, worked with GM. He retired from Saturn as an engineer. If not for the life of my parent, my brother would have been deleted as well. Because it's not like I said, he's retired now. It's approaching 70. My parents never gave up. My mom and my dad were together, putting us together on what to do about this guy. Even though we were small then, but we knew what was happening. Yes. So you have to let them know And you know one other point that let them know that you have been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them, don't let them believe that you're a super mom or a super dad.
Or that you've never made a mistake before. Some parents like to paint a picture like they've never made a mistake before. Sometimes you need to even let them know that you have made a mistake, and that's why you are trying to stop them from, making the same mistake.
Yeah,
But even that, I mean, what I'm realizing now is that even sometimes some children need to make their own mistakes and learn from it.
very good, Auntie B. They need to learn. Like Uncle Ade said, your kids will go to school and come back this and tell you they don't want to be doctor. You can't do anything about that. This is what I want to pursue in my life. You have to give them that opportunity to do that.
Hmm.
It's very important. Yes. Acknowledge their feelings. Yes. Let them know you feel for them. You are there for them. You are there to support them. Yes. Like Auntie B said that the people here, they're after their child happiness and health.
I've never seen. It was when I got to this abroad that I realized that children can be happy or unhappy. I didn't even know growing up in Nigeria that there's anything called children are not happy, because Oyibo is always about, oh, happy children, healthy children, and they open them to all experiences. The other day, I saw this Oyibo woman near my house, and it's always raining in the UK. It was raining in London, and the rain is this small rain. It wasn't heavy rain, it was just drizzling. And the boy, their children can be very small. This boy, I think maybe is about 3 or 4, was wearing raincoat, but the rain was still dropping. And the mother just stood. He was playing in the puddle of water. He was kicking it and just playing with it. And the mother just stood and just was watching him. I was watching the mother watching him. Brother Patrick, I'm telling you that they were standing in this rain for about 3-4 minutes. This woman did not shout. She didn't scream. She didn't say, let's go. She didn't say, she just allowed the child to experience that moment. I was like, wow. And then I started asking myself, I said, if it's me, what will I do? I would say, my friend, will you get out of that rain and get inside? They are so patient. Very, very patient with the children.
Let me round up, Auntie B. I find out that most very serious crime being committed in US by men, these men are repeat offenders. Because they have no father at home, they have no father figure, they have no role model. Some of them have gone to prison. By the time they come back again, they will now commit worse crime.
Yeah.
They are repeat offenders. So the role of father is very important. And like I said, we have to be there as men. Uncle Ade said it, and you said, well, you have to be in their life. That's the only thing. It's not about buying stuff for them. You have to be there. Let them know that you are a supporter of whatever they want to do. If they have any issue, they can come to you. Be there for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brother Patrick. Really appreciate you. How was service today? I hope service was good.
So
God bless you, sir.
Of snow. That was snow. Church canceled today.
Oh, church is canceled. Yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Brother Patrick. God bless you. Oluremi said, Auntie B, it's true. They allow their children to do that. Come and watch them in the park. They allow your children. You go to the beach, you see them. They will be digging in the sand. They will be playing with the sand. They explore and they encourage this curiosity. I think one of the problems that we African parents struggle with living in the diaspora is that time is not our friend, because we have so many things that we are juggling. So we're always rushing. We don't have time. We are rushing. We're always rushing. Every experience is rush. And on the other hand, I don't know, maybe because they have their own, family support and everything here, it is enjoyable for them. They enjoy it. They allow the children to enjoy and, really explore, and they are patient. Very, very patient. We are quick. Mothers especially. There's no time. But yeah, let's go. Where's the time for you to stay there? You come and stay and be digging ground, baking it. Don't you know I have...
Well, Sister B, let me correct you in something about
sir.
in diaspora.
Yeah.
We have time.
It's
like, yes, we have time. You know why I'm saying this? Is how we dedicate, how we divulge our time. Because
Right.
any job you're doing, as far as I know, in diaspora, they have a vacation time. They
Yes.
give you 1 week, 2 weeks, and everything. What do you spend your vacation time for? Pack your load and go to Nigeria. No. Why
Hmm.
don't you use your vacation time? That's once, maybe some people like miss once in 6 months or once in a year. Why don't you go on vacation with your children, for crying aloud? All these people that you
Hmm.
see, they're going to the beach. I understand the circumstances of everybody. Maybe you
Hmm.
don't have the money, but that's a
Hmm.
local. I'm not saying get on the plane, fly to here, fly. That's a local amusement park. You
Yeah.
can enter your train, you can enter your bus, you will go and spend the whole day. Pack your what do you call it, your cookies and your sandwiches, and put in the scene and go for a ride with your children. Go to a park. So there's
Hmm.
vacation. It's just like the way we Africans will devote our time.
Hmm.
That's what we have to prioritize our time. Even let's say they're working 3, 4 jobs. I
Yeah.
understand that. But that it's time for them that they have a break from that job, Abby.
Yeah.
So use that time to spend it with your loved one, especially your
Uncle
children.
Ade, Miss B is asking a question here. Please, if you can address it before I come to Mbasi's next. Miss B said, I'm a single mother. I'm a single mom raising 3 boys and 1 girl. Wow, 4 kids.
Wow.
Wow, the Lord is your strength, Miss
Amen.
B.
Amen.
My oldest is 21 and refused to go to college. My daughter, who is 19, in college with full scholarship. Please, any advice for my 21-year-old to attend college?
All right, Sister B, thank you for that question. The first thing you need to sit down with your child, with your
Mm-hmm.
son,
Mm-hmm.
and don't talk at him. Talk to him. Please,
Absolutely.
you see the word I use? Do not talk at him.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Have a dialogue. Have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Son, I love you so much. What do you
Mm-hmm.
want to do? What do you like? What is your passion? What do you
Yes.
think what do you think you can do? You see the world today, you have to do something. There's a way. Mother know how to talk to child than the men. Oh, because
Mm-hmm.
I know when my wife sit down with the children when they do certain things, I'll see the way you women are naturally counselors. So you women know how to counsel your children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is my advice, Sister B. Thank you for that question. You need to sit down with your son. Do
Mm-hmm.
not even, if it's possible, take him somewhere that is going to be you and him.
Mm-hmm.
There's no distraction.
Mm-hmm. So
Because,
there are a
yes,
lot of people that are on this table. Louis is saying, I have a friend here too. The son decided to stop school. So I think, in addition, have you finished what the advice you were giving? I'm going to add something to it for Miss B. Uncle
yeah, go
Ade,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
what I will say to you, Miss B, is don't panic.
Yeah,
Okay, don't panic. Not going to university is not, or going to college is not the end of the world. Okay, I know, as we African parents, college is everything to us, university is everything, but it's not the end of the world. Don't panic. First of all, calm yourself down about that college or university stuff, right? Then, like Uncle Ade said, you need to find out, talk, have that conversation, non-judgmental. Don't go into it with judgmental. Hey, can't you see your sister? She's got full scholarship. What are you doing with your life? You are older. You are not setting a good example. The temptation is always there. Trust me. The temptation is always there, because girls, they tend to be more focused. They tend to be more academic. That's what I have found, right? So, and please have it at the bottom of your mind that university is not for everybody. Oh, it's not everybody. You don't. Okay, so African parents always encourage children going to college or university because, to us, growing up in Africa is the surest way to success. But in this day and age, university is not the only way to success. In fact, there are so many other ways that your children can succeed without having a university education. That's why
yes.
you need to be calm about this university thing. So
Why is Bill Gates?
a lot
Sister
of
B,
parents
why is
are,
Bill Gates? Exactly. Why
yes,
is Bill
no, a
Gates?
lot of people, no. Look at even entertainment these days. The money that people are making
Yeah,
just from being content creators,
yeah.
being musicians, being entertainers, being YouTuber, being, influencers. Professors don't make that money. The world has changed. Oh. African parents need to change their mentality. Oh. It's not everybody that is academic. So some children these days, especially boys, I'm finding out they don't want to go to university. Let me tell you guys something. Last year, my older Toby said he doesn't want to go to university. First of all, he didn't know how to tell us. So he was going around it in circles. He wouldn't tell anybody. He was like, oh, he wants to take a gap year, and all that. Then finally he told me, oh, I'm not sure I want to go to, I don't think I want to go to university. I said, okay. My first inclination, I'm not going to lie, was to panic. Hey, Uncle Ade, the first thing I was thinking, how am I going to tell his dad that he doesn't want to go to university when you have two parents who are very educated? What am I going to tell him? Hey, I say, God, oh, my enemy wants to put me in shame. My enemy, that Nigerianness kicked in. But later on, I started having conversations with friends, and they said, you know what? You don't need to worry yourself about this too much. There are other avenues. Find out what does he want to do. Then we find out that he's very, very passionate about music.
You see?
He doesn't like to read. He's naturally very intelligent. This boy will put minimal effort, he will get an A star. But for him to sit down and read for 2 hours, hey, Jesus, it's struggle for him. But with music, morning, afternoon, night, he's so, to the point that, daddy now knew that he's very passionate about music. Then we started supporting him. We threw our full weight behind him.
That's it.
We started paying for him to go to studio to record his. You saw all his videos. He started recording, his rap musical. And then we started encouraging. He saw that even his dad, as traditional as he is, started supporting his music, his dream for music. Because initially he thought that we're going to kick against it, right? Then later, we now started talking to him. It's good for you to have, a passion, but you need to have a backup plan.
Exactly. That's it.
By himself, he figured it out. He came to us and said, okay, I'm going to university now. I want to go to university. And then he now told us what he wants to go and do in university. I was like, wow. I said, God, you answer prayer.
Yes.
He figured it out by himself. That's what I'm saying to you, Miss B. Don't panic. Don't. I know that that's the first thing that you will do. You need to support, encourage, and then find out what does he want to do. The thing that we don't want our children to do, our sons, we don't want them to be, people that will not have any ambition, that will not be driven, that will not want to be productive adults.
Yeah.
But education might not be the root. It just might not be the root. It's not everybody that will have a university degree in this day. And I'm saying it over and over again. As much as we want our children to have that master's degree, not all of them will go to university, and they will still succeed if you navigate that, that time of their life properly.
Yeah.
So maybe you might need to get his dad into, I don't know if the dad is in his life or an uncle. Miss B, I'm still talking to you now because I think I know that it's not easy for you. You are working, you are paying bills, you are trying to raise these children. And sometimes children are so spoiled. They don't understand. They think we don't understand them. Oh, you're an African. You're an African. You don't understand. You don't understand what I'm dealing with. Yeah. So I think that's what Uncle Ade was saying about having that emotional connection for them to understand that you understand them. I understand you. Your reality is not my reality. But you live, this is what I tell my children all the time, Miss B. I tell them, as a black man, the society already stereotypes you.
Absolutely.
They think that they put so many stereotypes on you.
Yeah.
They think you are doing crime. They think you are doing this. So I tell them, I say, you must not give them any reason for those stereotypes to stick on you.
Exactly.
You must. So any activity that you are going to involve yourself with that will make the police, because you already know, police will stop it. I don't know. It's not. I don't know if they do stop and search in America. Here in the UK,
they do. Yeah, it's worse here. It's worse here in America.
And do you know, I didn't even know that they stopped my son several times. He didn't tell us.
Yeah.
It was one day he finally told us that, do you know how many times they stopped me? Police would just stop me and I said, why they stop you? I was angry. I'm going to go and write a petition. I'm going to do this. He would just laugh. So I use that as a teachable moment to tell them, say, you see, you have white friends. Ask your white friends in school. Have they ever stopped them?
Yeah.
Never. They've never stopped. So that is what we are talking about, having these conversations with your children to make them understand that because of the color of your skin alone, they are going to look at you differently. Society is going to judge you differently. And they are not going to be judging you very nicely.
Absolutely.
You
That's
apply
true.
for jobs with your other counterparts, your fellow
They
students,
will take
because
them
you are of
first.
a certain
Mhm.
background, they will take that person. So I tell
Mhm.
my children, you need to, especially my boys, I tell them, you need to work 3 times harder than your white friend.
Yes.
They have inheritance. They have grandfathers who've left them houses that they paid mortgage for completely. They have inheritance. You, what do you have? So
And
you need
Sister
to work
B,
hard.
and you said it right. You know what? Beside the color of their skin, they are our name. Our name too.
Oh
Sometimes
yes,
people
it's
don't
a
know.
name. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's a name.
name.
They look at, oh, what's this name? You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's
so
another
have
thing.
that conversation, Miss B. Have that conversation with your son. Please let him know that you love him, you want the best for him. Let him understand that you just want him
The
to
best.
succeed so that he doesn't live a life whereby he will have regrets. I tell my children that money is the language that this world respects.
Yeah,
The language of this world, the currency of this world that is respected,
it's money.
irrespective of the color that you are, whether you are red, you are blue, you are black, it
Once
is
you have that
money.
money, yeah,
Make enough of it and they will respect you.
absolutely.
I teach them that. You need to teach your children. Teach them.
Yeah.
And you must make it legally, not illegally.
Yeah,
You have
exactly.
to make it legally. So if education is not it, maybe he can't figure it out, he doesn't see the need for it. Some children will tell you that, what's the point of getting all these student loans? When I graduate, I'm going to be paying off all these loans all my life.
Mm.
You need to explore other avenues. Have an uncle or his father. If he doesn't have a good relationship with his
Yeah,
father, get an
yeah,
uncle or
yeah,
somebody that is in authority that he
yeah.
trusts to talk to him. A man, not a
Man.
woman, no. Mm.
Thank you,
So have
Sister
that
B,
talk with him.
for sharing that. And that's the point I want to share, that women, especially single mother, please surround yourself with outside this thing that you have, which is either in your religious institution, or you have somebody in your family your children can look up to. I'm not saying pick up the bad people. You have good people that your children, and you yourself as a mother, you are confident that this person can help your children, influence. Please make connection and seek help. You see, what I tell a lot of people is that we cannot give our children 100%. Sister B,
Mhm,
if you
mhm,
give your children 100%, you are not going to be here. You are
mhm.
not going, because you will have, but give them your best.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? You cannot give your children 100%, but give them your best
Mhm.
and
And,
let them know
and,
that's
and one thing that I see, thank you, Uncle Ade, one thing that I see that works all the time with my boys is if they know that you are on their side,
yes.
always let them know I am on your side. I see that it is not easy for you, because don't forget, like we're talking about cultural identity earlier on. It's a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
right? Race is a big thing. We didn't deal with this because we grew up in Nigeria. Everybody
Yeah,
is
in
black.
Africa. Yes, every
But
Africa.
they're in a foreign country now,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
it is confusing for them.
it
Dr.
is.
Omiren is saying that when my son was 5, he said his skin color was not good, and the other kids have lucky skin. Wow.
Mm.
Can you say that? A 5-year-old, is already having cultural identity crisis. And she said, I wrote a children's book to explain it to him.
Thank you, sister. Good job, Dr.
Fantastic.
Omole.
Fantastic.
Good
Well
job.
done. Well
Good
done.
job.
Well done. Yeah.
If you still
And
have a copy of the book, tell her to share it with us. I don't
yes,
mind buying it.
tell us the name of the book in the comment section where we can find it, please. And you will need, when talking about cultural identity, please tell your children where you come from. Even if they've never been to where you come from, they need to have that sense of pride
Mm.
about where they are from. It is very, very important that you tell them about the greatness of your culture, your language, your tradition, your family that you come from. Paint the picture, even if you can't take them home. I'm always saying that it's good for us to take our children home, but the way the country is now, I don't know. If you can, yeah. But if you cannot, it is very important that you tell them, do you know you are from this great kingdom? Do you know what your ancestors did? Do you know that you are from a long line of great men? Tell
Mm.
them. They need to know. Otherwise, they will feel lost. They will think they are nobody. No. It helps their esteem when you paint all those compelling pictures about, how, they come from a long line of people who achieved so much from their culture. They shouldn't allow the world, because the thing is that if you don't teach your children about where they come from and they become confused, they will pick up information that is not correct
Yes.
about their culture, and it will be negative.
Yeah.
Then they will be
Yes.
lost. So it's very, very important that we have these conversations, ongoing conversations, about our roots. Talk to them about our roots, because they need to have a sense of belonging. They have that sense of belonging that, okay, I'm here, but I'm not from here. I come from somewhere. This is my tribe. This is my language. Very, very important. It's not easy, but let's keep doing our best. Okay, Mbasi, you are next.
Oh, thank you, Kumbi. Hi, Unkwade.
Hi.
Thank you so much, because, I myself, I only have one boy, right? So I kind of understand. It's so difficult to, like, sometimes as a parent, you question yourself, like, am I doing it right? Am I doing the right thing at the right time? All of those things. And then you're trying to find balance between being yourself and being the mother, right? Or, being other and to exist in other relationship as well. For me, the major thing for me, as far as my boy, is I'm trying to, first of all, live by example, right? And everything that you guys are saying is normal when you have two parents who are emotionally stable. Okay. So in a situation where the father that's supposed to be, the example for their children, and they are not even emotionally stable enough, or the mother is not even emotionally stable enough, right? They have issue already. So now it's left for one parent to having to carry the burden of both parents. And in most cases, and that is the situation in most cases, where one parent have to be responsible. In my situation, I surrounded myself with people that I trust, that I know that they are exemplary person, that I know that I look up to, and I expose my children to them, so that not only that they will see me how I'm doing it, then they get to see how other people doing it. And then the part where you said that expose your children outside of your own relationship, because again, once they grow older, they're gonna go into the world. So the world is like is wide. So you don't know where they're gonna end up with. I try to think of myself, I grew up in the village, okay, like a very small village. And here I am in America trying to survive. So I'm grateful for the kind of upbringing that I have, right? So we have to put it in our mind, like, we don't know where our children is going to end up with. So we have to be intentional, like Unkwade said. We have to be intentional from the beginning. A lot of parents, the attachment, you have to be very careful with the amount of attachment that you are having with these children, because most parents, they are so busy raising these children, they forget to raise themselves along the way. So because at the end of the day, once these kids are grown and they were ready to go into the world, and then the parent is having panic attack, I will never understand that, because do your job while you need to do that, so that when they are ready to go, it's gonna be a very healthy departure for both of you. Because as you are raising them, you are raising yourself. As you are preparing them, you are preparing yourself when you're gonna have that empty space, because that empty space is gonna happen. So we don't need to wait until that happens. We can always see other people how they are doing it, because that's how I roll. Well, I'm looking, like I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm watching people, I see. So I'm looking for what is healthy and what is not healthy. So whatever it is in my life that I'm doing, I'm correcting it right away. For my boy, like even all my children, I'm focused on servant leadership, because again, this leadership thing is lacking when it's come to men. Not all men, more like men that are supposed to hold the house and lead the family, they do not have a clue how to do it. And when you say you are the head of the house and you do not have a clue how to be a leadership, you tell me how you're supposed to do that. So servant leadership is something that I'm focused on. It's something that I learned from my father. My father is an example of when you say someone is a servant leadership. So, and I'm grateful that I have that experience with my father. So I know what a leadership of a man looks like in their home, in their community, in their environment. So I have that. But again, I'm a woman trying to raise a boy to become a man, right? So I need another stable, emotional stable person to help me along the way. And that is where I seek for that kind of men in my family and my circle of friends that I know that they're emotionally stable, they have experience, they are servant leadership themselves. And I'm saying this for people who doesn't have the second parent to go along with them in a healthy way, because not everybody is lucky to have both parents that are just matured to do that. So whatever.
I think Embassy, two of your devices are open. That's why I can hear myself. Put one up so that we can hear you from one. Cynthia is asking this question. What do you mean by servant leadership? I think I know the answer, but I want you to tell her.
Oh, well, a servant leadership is someone who has the emotional intelligence. And when I say emotional intelligence, I'm talking about they have the social cue, they have the relationship awareness. There are 4 components that goes into it. I'm trying to remember the other 2 of them. They are self-aware themselves, right? Self-awareness actually is the foundation of having to be a servant leader. Knowing yourself, whether you're a man or a woman, knowing yourself and know what your limits are, have confidence in yourself, know that you are enough, you are not threatened by anybody, and I'm talking individually. So like you are not threatened by anybody's success or anything. You acknowledge your success as you acknowledge your failure as you acknowledge your success, right? And so in that situation, once you are able to be that a whole person and you go into a relationship or you are having other relation with other people, you are leading with servant. And when you are leading with servant, it's like it's like people are watching you while you are doing it. You are not the person that sit down and telling everybody what to do while you are not doing anything. That is not a servant leadership. A servant leadership, they serve, they lead by actions, not just by their words.
By example.
By the action, by the good example, and everybody follow along. So that is missing in a lot of people, that they just don't know how to go about it, and it's causing a lot of confusion in the family, friendship, family, whatever the case may be.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution, Embassy. Really, really appreciate you. Even though for some reason, I think maybe your YouTube was on or something, my voice is bouncing back, but we do appreciate your really valid points that you shared with us. It's all about learning. So we're asking people who've raised boys, or if you are anything you've done that works for you, just share with other people, because a lot of people are struggling. That's why we are doing this show in the first place, okay? People are struggling with raising boys. Yeah, they are struggling. So we want to help one another. ST, you are next in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Auntie B. And Uncle, good afternoon. This is a very, very good topic. I know the last time when you talk about the lady that got killed by her son, you promised we're going to talk about this.
We use the names here. I think by now you should know that ST.
Yeah, sorry about
my
that.
videos keep getting, I think I get into problem all the time, with YouTube, because of, they censor everything. It's serious.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
So I have 20-year-old, and I have 1 girl, 2 boys. So the last one is 15. What I did was that when I got here to the United States, is different from where I was coming from in Nigeria. So I started working PM, but I realized by the time I come back from work, they are already sleeping. So I couldn't follow up like homework, what happened in school. You know, when we are raising children, there is a place of sacrifice for parents. And these children, we're not going to have them with us we're just going to have them with us for a short while. By the time they get into college, some of them may not even come back home. They might go from college to another place, you know, and be living there forever. So when I realized that I'm missing that, I was missing that, so I took up a night shift. So when they were sleeping, I was at work.
Very good.
When they woke up in the morning, Mommy, did you go to work? Yes, I did. So the
Fantastic.
goal for me was, mind you, I was going to school, I was working, but I wanted, like Uncle said, to balance all. Why I pursue my dream, I don't want my children to be left behind.
Yeah, to be neglected.
Yes. So in the morning, get them ready for school. So I make sure my classes is after their school bus had gone. Then my last class finish, I'll come home and make lunch. So that is how I did that for 10 years.
Wow.
So in America, when a child is 10, partially they can babysit for themselves, but they can't babysit for others. But by the time they're 13, officially teenager, they can babysit for other younger siblings. So that was how I roll while their dad worked during the day. Then let's not focus on older adults. Let's start from, I saw a comment that a woman said she has children under 10 years.
Under 10, yeah.
So what is happening to her? I want Auntie B to ask her. So when you are 7 in my house, you start washing plates. I have dishwasher, mind you. But you start washing plates. If you are not tall enough, I will go get you stool.
You get you a stool to stand.
You stand.
Yes, he's learning responsibility.
Yes, because
he's learning skills.
Yes, as I'm raising you to be responsible for yourself, because you are boys, I don't want you to be a burden to another girls that God is giving you at the end of your life. Right. So I know one day, that one pour all my dishwashing soap. Oh my God. The whole sink was bubbling. I was bubbling in my spirit that July. And you know, that spirit just said, if you don't allow him to learn, he's not going to learn. So he washed the soap for almost 1 hour. So I said, you see yourself, you have poured too much soap in the sink. But as time goes on, they get used to it. And that's the way it is. We divide chores. You boys mow the lawn. If there is snow, when we live in a snow state, pack the snow. We do it together anyway. But they know, they do that. Before I go to work, they're like, Mom, we've packed the snow in the driveway. You know? And my older one is now in college, maybe a year to graduate in college. He will come home and say, Mom, I'm tired of all this sandwich. So when he was leaving, we bought a rice cooker, we bought ororo, we bought rice, tin tomato paste. He will cook because I taught him, look here, you can't be waiting for a woman that go to work. You come home early. You cannot make common rice and stew. You should be able to do that. So that when the woman comes to, she will eat, then she can make a better food. Even if you don't know how to make better food, right? In the school, he does that for himself. He will even call his friends. He said, Mommy, my friend doesn't like spicy food. I just make it a little bit. And they enjoy it. I said, there was a day I called him, what are you doing? I'm just making spaghetti, Mommy. I said, I did not send you to school to go and make spaghetti, I beg. Go and read. That is the reason why we sent you to school. So that is one. Let's teach them to be responsible.
Skills.
From the
life skills.
Yes, home chores. Because it's only women. You should know how to cook. What about men? What about men? We shouldn't focus on one gender while neglecting another gender.
Yeah.
Then
absolutely.
secondly, like Uncle Ade said, availability. You know, me and my friend were talking about this. She said she's been going to her children's game and she's the only Black woman there. And she's ashamed.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a discussion. So I was telling her, I said, she's a psychiatric nurse. I said, you know, I read the report that sorry about that, Auntie B, that in UK, most of the nurses there, that their children is either they are in mental health home or they don't go or something. That because they were not available. So we just got talking, and she said, so if I call her, where are you? Say, sis, I'm off today. I'm taking these children to music class. We should be available for them.
You must.
So those little things matters to them. It matters so much. Those are the things they will remember when they go.
Oh, yes.
Eventually. When they grow up, they will say, oh, my mommy doesn't used to miss my music class. Oh, my mommy. My older son played basketball. He still played that in college. And the younger one, when we moved to a new state, like, Mom, it's not basketball yet, but I can play football. But I'm not a fan of football because American football is different from African football. Their own ball is very
It's rugby, isn't it? That's the one
but
we call rugby here.
I let him do it. So I will tell you, when is your home game? Anytime they have home game, we will go and watch it and just cheer him up. If he has a away match, he will tell us like, oh, I have a. That is how to support them. When you come in my house, if anything happen, I know. When I see my children, when I see them, I say, what happened in school today? Then they will.
That's because you have a close relationship with them, so you can read them. You can read them.
Even the one in college will say, Mom, I'm starting my exam. Can you guys pray for me? You know.
Yeah, and that's because you have a relationship with them. It's very, very important. That's what Uncle Ade was saying. You need to have that emotional connection with your children.
With them.
Even if fathers don't have it. Let's say, okay, a lot of all our uncles and daddies, they don't know how to be emotional. They don't even know what it means to be emotional with, in relationship. And as a mother, please, very, very important, because if they're not getting it from dad, they must get it from mom. Alone. It's very, very important.
I think our culture play a role in that, Auntie B.
Yeah.
Our culture, and we, like Uncle Ade said, we have to be intentional about parents over here. Then I tell my boys, look here, you guys are using phone. Don't let anybody send you something that is not nice. Don't share things that God will be angry with you. I always tell them, hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Yeah. So I always tell them, you have a sister, right? How will you feel if somebody go and record her and be spreading the picture?
Yes, so it's a good thing you mentioned that. We need to teach our boys about consent.
You have to be responsible. You have to be decent.
We have to teach them about
integrity.
Consent.
Yes.
And you know what, Sister B, let me add it to what my sister just said about her son. And her sister, and I appreciate you. You validate every single point that you say, and I love what you say. Another thing I will ask you, your children that are playing sport, that's the only niche colleagues and friends they have in that particular sport. Find out what time they have a break. They can invite his team to your house. Do a barbecue for them if you have the opportunity. Because that way you are showing them that your son has somebody and you have authority. You are giving your son authority.
Yeah.
You are giving your son a leadership role. Because every time all his colleagues, when they go play, they want to do something, he will be the one to say, no, my parents don't teach me that. And they will respect him. Because you know what? They have come to see you as a parent. They have come to realize that, yes, he has somebody good in his life. So good job. So that's what I need to.
Well done. Thank you so much, ST. I really appreciate your contribution. I'm going to take Hakeem because I haven't seen him before. Is it your first time of joining us? Thank you.
Yes, Auntie Obodooyinbo TV. This is my very first time, and my wife speak highly of your channel, and I'm actually the one that introduced your channel to her, but she love it more now. But anyways, you're welcome. Anyways, I love this topic today, and I'm a new father too. Like, not brand new, but I'm new to the business of doing parenting. But there's two things I wanted to share that I have learned, right, from being a father to my children. So one of these things is that, I mean, I'm from Nigeria, and the way we were raised is completely different, right?
Yeah.
The way we
Mm-hmm.
were raised is such that it's whatever the dad say and whatever the mom says.
Mm-hmm.
You don't talk back. You don't ask questions.
Yeah.
But being, over here and having learned from other people's family, I've realized that sometimes when I talk to my children, right, they have questions. When I pay attention and listen to what they're actually saying, it makes sense. So, in other words, I'm trying to say that we parents, we need to
Your wife
take
is here.
time.
Okpeyemi. She said, yes, that's my husband talking.
Yes,
Wow, thank you. They said they
yep,
introduced you, but
yeah.
you've taken over now.
She,
Oh, so
she
nice to
has
have both
to.
of you on this platform. God bless your family.
Amen,
Thank you,
amen,
Okpeyemi. Mr.
amen.
and Mrs.
Ajibose,
Ajiboshe. Shegoni
Ajibose,
o, mo
yes,
dúpẹ́.
yes. So, um, what I was trying to say is that make sure listen to your children, as in interact with them. Don't say they are little kids, they don't know what they're talking about. They know what they're talking about. You're not in their mindset. So listen to them. And the
Mhm.
second thing I wanted to share is children, they learn a lot from us. What they see us do is what they try to want to do. Everything they see us do, we don't even take cognizance of it. We don't know they are watching us. We don't. Everything we do, they are watching. They know, they see all these things.
Mhm.
So I want to like implore and encourage all parents,
Mhm.
try as much as possible to do good things at all time. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
something that you cannot do in front of children that will make children question and think differently, and don't do it in front of them
Yeah.
because they are
Yeah.
watching. They are watching.
Mhm.
Take it or leave it. They are watching. So
Observation, yeah, they
yes,
learn a lot especially at a certain age, when
yes,
they are below 10. I mean, even when they are like maybe 4 5, they soak up everything around them.
yes,
They
yes,
do, they soak it up, they just soak it up. That's
yeah,
children for you. They are like a sponge that you know how sponge you pour water will just be absorbing. They are like that.
yep,
And one thing parents
Exactly.
also need to
That's a
understand is that
strange project.
is what you put into your children that you get out.
yes.
It's what you
So
put in that you get out. But some, I mean, it's a learning curve for most parents every day. Nobody knows it
yes,
all. Yeah.
and one last thing is, if you're a military family and you're listening, it's tough. You're not always home. You're gone every time. Your children need you. They miss you. Your wife needs you. They miss you. So when you're back, please don't say you're too tired.
Mm-hmm.
Create time for them. Okay. Listen to them. Listen to them, because I've learned that when you're gone, they are also gone too, but they didn't leave the house. But that's a job they're doing at home. They're
Hmm.
not just at home like having a good time, but they're also working. You not there is some type of deployment for them too. So
Hmm.
create time, listen to your wife, listen to your children, and try to avoid avoiding them.
Right.
That's all I have that I wanted to share. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come on online. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. God bless you and God bless your home. I appreciate your contribution and my love to your darling wife. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, we are moving this very quickly because of time. I'm trying not to, exit more than 2 hours today. Not more than 2 hours. Um, Okay, so we are moving on with the lessons. I think the one that rings very true from what ST and Hakim have just said is, children learning by observation, teaching them life skills. That one is very, very important. You need to teach them skills, though. Teach them life skills, though. Teach them manners. Teach them manners. Learn. teach them to learn to say please and thank you. If I want to give my children something, we play, oh God, the kind of games I play with my children, they are tired of me. If I hold something like this, I want to give it to my children, I hold it like this. If they take it, if they don't say thank you, I won't release it. I will hold on to it. Then they will get the message. Then I say, oh, thanks, mom. Then I release it. They know. If they forget, they are in a hurry, I'm going to hold on to it. Even if it's food and I'm passing it to you and you're not saying thank you, I will grab it like this. You can't take it.
You know what, Sister B, I want to tell you the funniest joke that just happened. I want to share this joke that happens to me just recently when my son relocates to Florida. And I went to his house and he was in the swimming pool and he was swimming with my granddaughter. And there was a section, the section deep, they have different grade. And he was moving to the deeper parts. And I said, so why don't you move to deeper parts and go? Do you know what my son asked me? That's the oldest son. He said, Dad, have you ever taken me to a swimming suit class?
Swimming pool. Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And it was true. Because it was like, for me, I'm looking at it, if I have said that to my father, oh my God, that man will... For me to say,
your face will not be straight again, Uncle Ade. Your jaw will not be the same again.
No, I mean, because I told him, I said, thank you, son. You are right. I never take you to a swimming class before. So you're right. So that's what it is. So for us, it's like, and I like what Ajibose said. Yes, make it a valid. He's a young man. You see what he's saying. You have to be present.
Yeah.
You have to know your children. And like you say, Sister B, children are spongy. They watch you. They observe you. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I grew up with my children, the three boys. I show them by example. Because when I kiss my wife in front of them, it's not a taboo. When I hold my wife I hold her hands, I hug her, it's not a taboo. They see that. And the men that I have, you know what? They learn that from me. They see how I relate to their mother. So men, especially men who are having male in their children, your way of treating their mother as boys is the way they will treat you. They will click to you and they will go to their wife. Let them realize it, because for us, as we grew up in our society, is like the way, and I'm reflecting on the father of my background, that the way I see my father relate to my mother, that's why I intentional change. I say I don't want to have the way I grew up. I don't want to repeat it.
There are some parents that they want to raise their children in the diaspora the way their parents raised them in the 70s and in the 60s. You start hearing, my father did this, my father did this, my father did that, like your father. No, you should improve. Even the car of 1970, 1960 today is not the same Mercedes. No. They improve on it every year. But you will still want to drive the old model.
Yeah, because you know what, Sister B? A lot of our Nigerians, especially the baby boomers, they refuse to evolve. They refuse to change. Why are you living in diaspora? There are good things that we need to incorporate in our life so that we can have our children to survive. Because either we like it or not, we don't know when we're going back. And our children will remain here. So we need to learn how, and this is what, especially within the college of groups that I have here, a lot of them, they fail their children, and guess what? Like you said earlier, they're blaming the wife. Yeah, it's the wife. She does not allow me to discipline them. She does not allow me.
Well, because the only time they hear your voice is when you want to discipline. When it comes to doing activity, taking them anywhere, you never do.
You're not there.
It's only to discipline that you know.
It's only to this. And this is what, and one thing too is like, I want to appeal to women that are listening today. If your child misbehaves, please find time to discipline that child before that man comes. If it is your prerogative, if it's not something that is bad, do it. Don't put it to the man, because you know what? Sometimes they make us look we are the devil.
Yeah, it's true. Everybody
should make us look at, and the children, because I learned that from my mother. Oh, when your father comes, why deal with me now? And that makes me to be resentful, to know that my father is the one that is going to be this devil man, this devil. So allow this, because for me and my wife, we decide to work to raise our children in partnership. And that's what I was saying earlier. We decide never to have a corporal punishment in my life with my children. We decide, and it works. We discipline them. What you find the discipline in your children, like Sister B, you say, find what these children like. Find what to take it away from them for a break. Let them see. You will see their reaction.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Uncle Ade.
Yes.
Blessing is asking a very funny question. She said, I worry about our kids learning by observation because my husband wants to hug and give me a kiss, even in their presence. I got feel, or I don't know, maybe that's a typo. I feel unease because they are all younger than 6 years. Please advise me. So does it mean that you don't hug your children?
That's it.
You don't hug and kiss your children, Blessing. First of all, you need to start hugging your children if you don't do that, yeah? And start kissing them. So if you kiss and hug them, kissing and hugging is something that they will be used to. They will know it's a normal way of showing affection. So if your husband wants to hug you and kiss you, it's not going to be something that is absurd. Okay? So you cannot be hiding hugging. If your husband wants to hug you and kiss you in the presence of your children, you think it's something that you should hide from children? No,
they're not doing Kerewa now. I mean, Sister B, they're not doing Kerewa now.
No,
they're not doing Kerewa. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the only one you don't want them to observe yet, or if you're not ready to have that conversation because they are still below 6, is Kerewa, obviously.
Yeah.
But hugging and kissing should be everyday thing. Every day.
Every day. Yes.
If I tell them this is how mommies and daddies kiss, yeah. I don't know. Some people kiss in the cheek, some people kiss in the lip or whatever. I kiss my children in the lip anyway. That's where I kiss my children. We kiss on the lip like this, yeah? They are used to it. We've always kissed like that.
Yeah.
So, kissing your children, or peck, as they call it in Nigeria, peck. Yeah, no. I mean, some people some people don't like kissing in the lip, but I kiss my children in the lips. We've always done that. So,
yeah.
Kudirat, you are putting so many exclamation there, not in the mouth. Kissing in terms of peck, not kiss on the mouth. No, there are different ways of kissing. I don't want to get into that. You do what works for you. Everybody does what works for them. But my children and I, we've always kissed, and we kiss, on the lips. Yeah? That's it. There's nothing wrong in it.
Yes.
All right? It's different from the kiss that you kiss your husband and wife.
Exactly.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. It's different. So, Blessing, if you didn't hug your children, start hugging and kissing them, and please start hugging and kissing your husband in front of them. Don't normalize it, please. It's very, very normal. It's something that you should do daily. Okay, my husband is not a kisser. He's not. What am I saying? He's not a hugger. He doesn't know how to hug. He's very traditional. He doesn't hug. But I am very, 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 I love hugging. And from when my children were small, I've been teaching them hugging. So they are used to it now. But you see the funny thing, let me tell you how dynamic children are. Okay, Cynthia, you always see Toby, and yeah, they do that. We do that. Sometimes kiss here, sometimes here. Doesn't matter. It's a French kiss, yes. Yeah, it's just a peck. Uncle Ade, what I was saying is that till today, even though our children are grown now, you will see them hugging me and kissing me. But they don't do that with their dad.
Oh, wow.
Yes, no, they don't. Yeah. They don't, because it's not a hugger.
But
with me, they can hug and kiss me. They are used to it. So that tells you that is what you give children, they will give you back.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what because for me, my children grow up, I want to feel their heart. You see, my hugging my children is for me to see their life, they are breathing. That's what I'm serious.
I like that.
I'm serious. That's the way I feel. If I'm wrong, let anybody. I want to feel my children, and I love.
You want to be sure that they are breathing. So
that's it. I feel that because it's somehow cuddle. When you cuddle your children, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's the part of parenting that I love. Smothering them with affection. I don't have it. I love it.
I do not have it in Nigeria. Don't let anybody quote me, but I learn it.
Because you can learn it here.
Because all you do in Nigeria is dobale. Not for you to ballet.
Yeah.
With distance. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, when I lie on my bed, my children will come and
They say
did
bye.
something the other day. He will lie on top of me like this. He's been doing it since they all do it, especially Toby. He's very affectionate, you know. He will come and lie on top of me in my bed. He will lie on top of me. And he'll say, oh, your body is so soft. You are so cuddly, like a teddy bear. He enjoys it. So the other day, he did it. About 2 weeks ago, he was like, Mom, I think I'm too old for this now. I laughed. I say, yes.
That's it.
You're too old now. You're a grown man. You cannot be lying on your mom now. So get off.
Because they know
we laughed about it.
Exactly.
He was the one that realized it. Was like, Mom, I think I'm too old for this now. But he's done it all his life. They've always been like that, you see. So affection is something that children really, really love. They love it. Please don't withhold affection from your children, though, because you want to teach them. You don't want them to know about Kerewa. They will know about Kerewa sooner or later, my dear. Mama Bear, thank you so much for your patience. Welcome.
Auntie B. Thank you, Auntie B. Hi, good evening.
Hi.
I just have to give you your accolade. You're doing so well. You're doing well.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
And I appreciate you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot to say. It's just I just want to say you're doing well, and I appreciate you. And I just want, all I have to say is in parenting, we should all apply the 4 F's of parenting. We should learn to be fun, firm, and fair. Because if you apply, we should apply the 4 F's of being parents, which is being fun, fair, and firm.
Fun, fair, and fair.
Yes, because if you apply all of this, everything we've just been talking about will fall into place because they all fall under that umbrella. If you're being fun with your children, it makes you accessible to them. It doesn't necessarily make you to become you're not their friend, but you become accessible and open for them to be able to have any kind of conversation, good or bad. And if you're fair, because you're fun and they know you're going to be fair, so having that conversation is easy because they're talking to you and they know you're fun and they understand you're also fair. So they would understand you and you would understand them. And being firm drives the point home to them of your fairness and your fondness. So they understand, and because they understand that those principles, it will apply and it will go into every facet of their lives, and that would help them to have good relationship with you, by extension other people as well. So and I love the way you always reiterate the fact about being affectionate with your children. We cannot give enough. There's no such thing as too much affection.
Because we are not an affectionate people. A lot of us, by nature, we are not affectionate. So it's something that a lot of us have to learn and, keep practicing every day.
It's a continuous process that we get used to as we do it all the time. So for me, I have 3 kids, and my first is 24, my second is 11 and a half, and my last is just still a toddler. So with my first daughter, I made a lot of mistakes. I made. And when I had my second, I made myself a promise. I decided to be intentional. So the relationship I have with my second daughter, there's a complete difference with my second. With my second daughter, we sit down and we have conversations. I don't talk to my daughter, I talk with her. There are 2 different things: to talk with someone and to talk with, and to talk to someone and to talk with them.
Sorry, Mama Bear, sorry. I'm so sorry. All these comment people are making me laugh. Pretty cool guys say African parents, they parent without affection and emotion. And that is why when I became old, my dad now started saying, I love you. Somebody that never said I love you before, all of a sudden I love you.
Yeah.
You'll be like, where is this coming from? I hope you're not going to delete. Why are you telling me this? Oh my God, that was so funny. Thank you for making me laugh, pretty cool guy. You suddenly realize I love you. Why is he telling you now? Please tell your children you love them every day. Every day. Not a day goes by. Every day. Every day. Thank you. Carry on, my darling.
So because I made it a conscious thing for me with my second daughter. Now she's 11 and a half, almost going into high school. So it's that stage for me that it's that stage where I'm afraid I'm going to lose her. But I reassure myself every day that I have given to her tools that would make her come back. Because I have shown her I love her, and every day it's something I've done every day. Before she goes to school in the morning, the first thing she does in the morning when she wakes up, she greets me. We have our cuddles, and then she, get along with her day. Before she leaves the house, I always say to her, be good, be kind, you're pretty, I love you. And I tell her, have a good day. It's something I have always said to my daughter. So every day is something we say to each other. So even when I don't say it to her, or maybe I'm too in a rush in the morning and she leaves to catch the bus and I don't say it to her, she'll get to the school, tell the school office to phone me, and she says she wants to speak to her mom. And because I've not said that to her, she's like, Mom, I think you forgot something. I'm like, what's that? She's like, you didn't say anything to me. I'm like, oh. And then I say it to her. And then she's like, now I'm happy. I can have a good day. And then she goes off because it's something she's used to. So if it doesn't happen, she feels there's something wrong. And it's a reminder for me not to forget. So she doesn't leave the house thinking she's done something wrong. So I always try to do that. So it's just a way for parents to understand that you have to create a routine that works for you and your children. Speak a language they understand. Make that connection with them so that every day that is a reminder. And
even when you discipline, this is what I also do. When they do something and I finish telling them off or discipline them, when we have a conversation, maybe a day later, we have a conversation about it. I'll say, well, I hope you know I love you. You understand I'm doing this from a place of love. They'll be nodding head like this, be nodding their head like this. I say, yeah. It's you need to constantly be reassuring them of your love.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
That's what we call reinforcement, Sister B. You are reinforcing your love for them, because when you do something and you come back to tell them, that's ingrained in children that you don't do it out of meaning something against them. You do it out of love. Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's a reinforcement. Children love reinforcement. And that's why you say it. They love reinforcement. Children love when you to, and especially children obodo. Let me say it loud and clear today. Children obodo, they love rewards. Know what is your reward with your children. I always say, there's nothing bad to tell your children when they do a good job. Say thank you. Why can't you say thank you to your children?
Yeah, you can.
I say thank you to my children every day. If I tell my daughter, pass me the remote, she gives it to me, and I say thank you.
That's it.
The thing is that what I'm finding, Mama Bear, is that a lot of African parents too don't have manners.
Yes, exactly.
We don't have manners, and we expect our children to give what we don't give them. So we expect them to pick up these manners from this part of the world, and we don't reciprocate those manners.
No.
And we always expect only children to be polite to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you as an adult can behave anyhow to your child because I'm your parent. So take anything, but parents need to be polite. No, everybody needs to be polite.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not about being whether parent or child. We all have to learn to be polite. We all have to learn to be kind. We should be conscious of being kind because it's not about what you're given as in material, but kindness is a virtue that you should be able to pass on continuously.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have kindness, then empathy will come naturally to you.
Yeah.
Because if you cannot be kind, there's no way you can have empathy on people. But if you're kind, empathy would come. So it's the same with like my daughter. She comes back from school every day. It's a routine. She will tell me her day from the time she gets off the bus till the end of the school, till when she comes back and drops at the park at the bus stop. She will tell me her day from beginning to end. It is a daily routine. Sometimes I'll be busy doing other stuff and she'll just be chatting away, telling me what happened. And sometimes I'm not even interested because it's all playground gossip. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, let me hear this. But you
Or
know,
at least she's talking to you.
yeah, it gives me an insight of what is happening.
Yeah. And when you have that open conversation like that, even when there are serious stuff happening, you'll be sure
bring it to me.
that they can bring it to you. They can talk to you about it. Sorry, Mama Bear. Somebody's asking a very good question. Says, Auntie B, is it okay for parents to call their children their best friends? What do you think, Mama Bear, about that?
I would not go down that route. Reason is, as a parent, even in psychology, there's what they call hierarchy in communication. If you begin to, for a child, their friend is on the same level as them.
Yeah.
And because you're on the same level as them, they don't take you serious.
So they play. They can say anything to you as friends. They jab at each other. Yeah. And as a parent, no.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. I would have said yes, but for parenting, it's a dangerous road to go to. Instead of, you can say to your child, if you have to say you're the best friend, still remind them that you're still their mom or their dad.
Remind them that you're your parent. I will say, I don't say my children are my friends. I don't think I've ever called them my friends, but I'm friendly with them.
Yes, exactly.
I'm friendly with them. There's a difference. Okay, so I have not, ever. I don't think I've ever said to any of my child that you are my friend. No, I have friends. They are not my friend. You are my child. Okay, because like you said, it is very important for you not to overdo it by not allowing them understand that hierarchy. I'm your mother. I'm your father. You are my child. So there's a hierarchy there that God has just. I brought it to
that's what we compare to what we call a demarcation, a line that we cannot cross. So you must establish that in your relationship with your children. So for me, being a friend is not a friend. You just mean that you have open door policy. That's why your children will come to you with anything they feel that is bugging them, anything they feel they don't get the answer, anything they want, they will come to you and ask you.
Yeah, I don't like that friendship bit because it can bring you to a level that it will be difficult for you now to maintain that boundaries and firmness.
Exactly. It will eventually create a friction.
Yeah,
because now you are confusing your children.
Yeah, I don't like that. You are my friend.
Yeah, when you come with certain things, they come with a certain behavior, and then you want to change them or you want to correct them. They will ask you, "Aren't you my friend?"
Yeah.
So we as
their parent, not their friend.
Exactly.
I think maintain that distinction. You are the parent. You are not. They have their friends because in the mind of a child, their friend is somebody they can be silly with.
Exactly.
And as much as you love them and you are affectionate, we've been talking a lot about affection and emotional, connection with your children. You don't want them to be silly with you. You want them to respect you as your parent, as their parent.
And then you want them to be honest. That's what you create. You want your children to be honest with you, so that the reality of what you're seeing outside, you are able to take care of it with them, and you are able to help them.
Right. Love you too.
Okay. So, Mama Bear, you want to round up? We still got two people.
I'll just round up. I'll round up by saying in everything you do, be a parent that is present. Because your presence means more to your children than the present you give to them. So be a present parent and not a present given parent. So because in that way you're building their esteem, and at the same time you're teaching them the core value of humans. Because as humans, we cannot exist on our own. And because we can't exist on our own, we need tools to help us exist with other people. And we need people to teach us how to be with other people. So you have to be present in your child's life and not give presents. It's good to give presents, but be present in your child's life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mama Bear. I really appreciate your perspective. Be fun, firm, and fair. Thank you. Be present. If you can afford to give present, add present. But even if you can't give present, please be present. And I quickly want to say this before I take your question, Akim. Some parents, especially fathers, they live in the same house. They are physically present, but they are not present.
Present, yes.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Being present doesn't mean that you are in the house.
The house, yeah.
You can be in the house and you are, for instance, watching television all the time. You're watching sports.
Yeah.
You don't engage. You're not present.
You don't engage, exactly.
It's not
You're
your
not
physical
active.
presence. We are talking about relational presence.
Exactly.
There's got to be that relationship. Just because you are there does not mean that you are present. So you need to be actively present. Talk to them. Have conversations with them. How was your day? What did you do today? You know, you need to be involved. So many dads are not involved. They are not. They are just there. They live in the same house. They know nothing about their kids.
Yeah.
The only time they hear your voice, and I like the point that you raised, Uncle Ade, about how mothers, if you are a two-parent household, please learn to discipline your children. Don't say until your dad will come today. I like that point because sometimes it makes dad seem as if he's the devil. He's the only one that, he's the only one that's always yelling or giving punishment or giving discipline. Being present means being involved. Do you know your child? What are their likes? What are their dislikes?
Yeah.
What do they enjoy doing? Who are their friends? What are their hobbies? Do you go places together? Do you know them? A lot of dads don't know their children.
It's not only the woman's job to go to open night for your children. Your father is the important job for a man to go to the school of your child as a parent, open night. It is you that will be able to ask an inquisitive question because you go there with an authority, you want an answer. So it is good for a man, and that's what I did with even though a lot of time I go with my wife, I make my presence known at the school, with the teacher, with the principal.
Yeah, so let them know you. Let them know
me. Yeah, I'm the father. I'm the father of this so-so's my son. So Cynthia, my child,
Cynthia is saying that, let me see your comment, Cynthia. Cynthia said, my stepdad was like that, just there, but not present at all. He can't even tell you what school we attended. Yeah. A lot of African dads are like that, unfortunately. I mean, some are very involved, but some, they don't even care. They are not, the only time you hear them is condemn, tell you off for not during the parents. You are not parenting them well. They tell the mothers off for not parenting well. Meanwhile, they are doing zero parenting. A lot of mothers, a lot of women who are married are single parents in terms of parenting as well.
Yeah.
They are. So that's very important, that presence means being involved. Akim is asking the question about, she said, Auntie B, what age can we begin discussing issues of discrimination and racism, eradication to our kids? And I think Dr. Emeran said something in the comment section about having that conversation, that she was forced to have that conversation when her son was only 5.
5, yeah.
Okay, I don't think there's an age to it, or
there's no
let's
age.
just say when they begin to understand.
Exactly. When they begin to know,
when they begin to understand, like when they start school and they begin to understand,
yes.
That's when you should have that conversation with them. I have
Yes.
a few points I wanted to raise. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. And you can use even watching TV shows or movies to teach your children, about racism and, diversity. You can. For instance, if you are watching a show and something happens whereby, you see a group of black boys. The example that I saw was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I don't know how many of you remember that Will Smith comedy. And Carlton and what's his name? What was Will Smith's character? They had an experience whereby the police pulled them over for no reason because they are just two black boys driving a car. So that's an opportunity for, if you're watching a movie like that with your child, you can have that conversation with them to say, okay, this is it. This is the reality. Unfortunately, there's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful. You are the image and likeness of God. You are perfect. But society puts some certain, things. They discriminate based on your skin color. So you have that conversation with them. But be careful. Be very, very careful when you're having conversations about skin color or race and racism, because sometimes there's a thin line between talking about racism and making children feel like because of the color of their skin they are limited.
Yeah.
So you need to de-emphasize the importance of race and focus more on hard work.
Yeah.
Focus more on hard work. You might tell them that, okay, you need to work 3 times harder, 2 times harder, but don't tell them, oh, you are limited. You can't get this because you are not this skin color. No.
Yeah.
It's just about learning how to navigate. Once they start school, that they are maybe 5, 4, they start seeing people from different colors, different races, and then questions will begin. That's why you need to help them to build a very good, sense of, identity. Yeah. Let them know who they are.
Yeah.
Let them love themselves.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to all what we've been saying about, children, being, when you are emotionally connected to your children and you let them know that they are beautiful the way they are. You don't need to be a certain race for you to be amazing. You are the perfect work of God.
Yeah. And so that, for me, let me add it to what you say. What you say, you cannot eradicate racism in your children because it's a reality they will face even when they grow up. They will deal with a different race. And they will deal with what we're talking about. But like Sister B said, it's for you to emphasize the positive aspect of your child, extend it, and give them the what do we call it, a platform for them to come out. Because Sister B, I say this to you, and this is what I'm saying this for people to know that I am not a parent by magic. The same thing what Akim said, my children, because he went to the University of Rochester. If anybody know New York, it's all, what I'm saying, color people there. My people. The first time my son was called with the N name, my son called home and cried. They call him N word. My son called back home and cried. So we have to reinforce him. We have to encourage him. So the reality is there, but you have to, you don't want to create, and whatever you do don't try to create fear on your children to fear other race. Please be careful.
Lily said I should repeat it again. I'm saying that you need to have that conversation with them about race and diversity, but do not be careful around how you tell them about society constructs when it comes to race.
Yeah.
Discrimination is real. It's a reality for black boys. It's a reality for all black people. Tell them they are going to be judged based on the color of their skin, but also emphasize to them that these are just man-made discrimination. So they need to understand that they are not any less. But also, while you are doing that on one hand, also tell them that just don't be limited by the color of your skin. Don't feel like because you are this color and this country that you live in, majority of them they are white, that you cannot get. Obama was president in America. Okay, the current vice president of America is a woman and she's not white. So these are, you use public figures like that they can identify with to teach them that it is possible to attain if you work hard. I always tell my children, never think that because it's about you and your commitment to work hard. If you are consistent and you are committed and you put it work in, we'll get there. I think I saw another comment here just now. Adewale, I'm coming to you in a minute, but that comment is very troubling to me now. Hakim said something about the daughter. Yeah. Oh my God. Hakim said, thanks, Auntie B. My 3-year-old daughter asked me why her skin is dirty.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Okay. But I did not understand what she meant. So your wife has a lot of work. You and your wife has a lot of work to do. It seems like she's already facing some cultural identity crisis at that age. For her to use that word, she's linking her brown skin to dirt. There's something underneath.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys have a lot of work to do to talk to your children about their culture. There's a reason why she's asking that question. First of all, where would a 3-year-old pick that word up from? My skin is dirty. Why? Is it what they are exposed to? Is it the cartoon they are watching? Or is it something they've heard on television? You need to find out how they find. First of all, find out from her. Sweetie, you said this. Where did you hear that from? Did somebody say it to you? Use language that you will understand. Come down to their level. When you want to talk to a child, the way we were taught in my profession is don't stand and there are these little people down here. Come down to their level. You can put him on your leg so that they'll be looking at you, on the same level with you like this, face to face. Make them feel comfortable. You need to talk to them about colorism and skin. Because there's a 3-year-old is too small to even notice and be saying comment like that. They've heard it somewhere. Why would they say my skin is dirty? So you and your wife have a lot of work to do. If they are in kindergarten, did somebody say it to them in kindergarten, in nursery? So maybe these books that you're talking about, Dr. Emiren, a lot of people will need those books. Yeah, can you please put a link in the comment section? I think Hakim and his wife definitely needs that book for their daughter. That's a question that would trouble me as a parent if my 3-year-old is already, being faced with the crisis of their skin color. That's a heavy burden for a child. Okay. I hope that answers the question. There's a lot of work that you need to do there, but you need to do the work. Please don't gloss through it and just forget about it. You need to have that conversation over and over and over again. Adewale, you are next. Welcome.
Good evening, Auntie B.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to appeal to the African fathers on the show today because I think in our culture, a lot of men and fathers think that being a father starts and ends with providing for the family. It starts and ends with paying school fees, and you don't even know what your child does in school. The only thing, or some fathers will only care about school and nothing else. You don't know what your child likes. You don't know the kind of food your child likes. You don't know your child's favorite color. You're not like the other aspect of your child's life. You don't know it. You're just there, but you're not there. It's really, really bad because I'm a victim of this. Growing up, my dad just mostly cared about education, and I don't really blame him. It's because he came from a family where my grandfather didn't care so much about education at the time, and he really wanted to go to school back then. So when he had us, he made that his priority. That was like the only part of parenting he cared about, and the other aspects we couldn't even talk to him about it. And now I'm a lot older, and he's trying to build up that relationship, but it feels awkward to me because it's not there. I mean, you can't build something out of nothing, and I think a lot of parents are also doing the same thing right now. You can't just focus on one aspect of your child's life. You need to make sure that you're present in your child's life in a balanced way. You talk to them about school, you talk to them about their friends, you talk to them about what they like, what they don't like. That's how they're going to be close to you and open up with you about other aspects of their life. If you don't talk to your child, for example, about relationships, maybe when they become teenagers, they start liking the opposite sex, and you don't start talking to them about it, and something is going wrong, they wouldn't open up and talk to you about it. They'll start hiding things from you. But when you start talking to them about it, it's going to feel very awkward because you don't build that relationship at that late stage in their life. You have to start from when they're really, really young. And I think a lot of like African fathers, especially, are guilty of this. They just think that parenting, being the father, just provide for your family, pay your kids' school fees, and that's it. That's not the end of it. That's just a small part of it. The other things you need to do as a father, it's not just that one. So that's just what I want to say. I'm appealing to every, because I think the men that listen to you, most of them here are African fathers, and we
Yeah.
still have this mindset and mentality, and it needs to change. It's not good at all.
Right. Yeah,
That's what I want to
absolutely.
say to be. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Adewale. I appreciate you, my brother. So we are here now. I think we started off by talking about, emotional, loving, listening, and so many good points that Nkwade gave us, discipline to get results, allow them to question you, don't live your life through your children, reward good behavior, and all that good stuff. And we are ending the show now, coming to a place where we are talking about cultural identity. Children questioning their color. Why am I like this? Why is my skin like this? That one, it's a lot of work. Especially, this is another thing that parents have to deal with, sadly, when you live in a diaspora.
Yeah, that's the true sense of the whole thing. For me, what we did is we let our children be conscious of where they live, and like you say, we emphasize on in the individual ability, and we reinforce themselves that they are capable of anything they want to do in life, no matter what. We just tell them that anything that happens is just you push yourself harder. It's an obstacle, it's a side traction, but you need to get over it. And then even when my son was in college, this happened. I have to emphasize the positive aspect it is. That he is a king. Don't let nobody put you down. You're a king. You have everything for you going for you. So don't let it affect you. Don't let you down. And they are like what we've been talking about is if you are present with your children, you will be able to pick up little things that you know that is going on with them. And that's why you cannot say as a parent, you have to be a parent who are aware.
Yeah.
And
You have
then
to
it's
be
like
involved.
you have to be
Yeah.
involved. Or like
Very, very
I
involved.
don't know how to say it in Yoruba. You have to have that sense that you have your eyes open always, to see more than just beyond. And you have to always, especially the children in diaspora, especially the boys, you have to think a little bit ahead of them. You have to think a little bit ahead of them. So when they come with a little thing, they don't know, you already maybe you don't know the answers, and then you have to find the answers to them. Because we boys, we always love to have the answers.
Yeah.
That's us. That's our nature. When we ask a question, we always like to the woman part. We always wait. They can wait, but we man is like we don't have. Our nature is like we don't have ingrained in us with what we call the patience. That to wait for the that I think that's the key point that I want the parents to get on tonight. And in the lastly that I would say is that set a rules that you yourself will never break. Set a rules that you yourself don't set a rule for your children, and then your children say you're behaving in a certain way, you're breaking the rules, so that's the key thing to your children. And like we said earlier, children are spongy. They watch you, they observe you, whatever you do. And this is why a lot of parents don't know your children are reflect of you. They are 100% reflective of you. And even my children, when I go outside, I say, you know what? You're going outside there. You are my wife too. We always tell her, you are not going by yourself. You're going with us. Because every counts of your behavior out there is coming back to us.
Yeah.
It's coming back to us. So that's the key thing. And everything is about when you have this love over broadening of the whole totality of being parenthood, you will find that it's easy to manipulate it for. And another thing is that let parents stop using the word bad. You are a bad child. There's no child that is bad. It's just their behavior that is bad. Find another word to use. Don't only say, oh, you are bad, you are bad, you are bad. No, because I tell you, I'm giving an example of my son's uncle. This boy, and I always tell him that I'm sorry I didn't follow up. This boy, he was not, like you say, he was not good in book and everything, but he loved basketball. This boy will bring home trophy every now and then. None of my brother went there, none of his parents, they went to see his game, none of them to go. And the boy came out now, is into all this nonsense stuff. I'm like, you see? And I always go back to it and say, because if I knew your parents are not doing it, I should have stepped up to and help you, because all that our children need is a reinforcement. You see, when your children is doing certain things and other children are there, or other parents are there witnessing, and your children look within that crowd and don't see that motivation, don't see that support. Wow, it is parents, listen to me today. It's a big deal. If you think it is not a big deal, it is a big deal. It breaks them down that you don't care.
Yeah.
That's the word. It breaks the children down that you don't care. But when you are there for them, you are reinforced that they're doing good. You show them that I'm here, I'm this. That validates them. That makes them feel. And because where we come from, I don't know, in the way we grow up, our parents will say, go to your uncle, no, it's not, it doesn't happen, because here in the diaspora, you are with your children.
Yeah, all the time. All day, every day. Yeah. I mean, Akim, I'm so glad that you said that. I was going to say, I think you are doing well. For your 3-year-old daughter to come to you and she was comfortable to come to you and tell you about this. It means that you are close to her. So you just need to continue to do the work that you are doing. And please, a lot of suggestion, check the comment section. A lot of people are giving you suggestion, buy toys, dolls. She's a girl, so buy her dolls, black dolls, books that have black character, cartoons. Look for cartoons that, have strong black characters. Let her watch movies with black people so that she can see. Because if they can see, they can identify with it. But most importantly, have that talk with her. You need to find out where she heard that word. Why she's saying that. She's only 3. 3 is a bit young, so I'm a bit, I don't know where she heard it from. Maybe somebody said it to her, but at 3, wow.
And Akim, if you investigate to find out the source of it, please approach the source and put an end to it. As a father, stand up for your daughter. Go to the source. If it is a school or is it within the colleague of a group that they're playing,
you need to
approach it. Yeah, approach it. I'm not saying go there and do something, but be diplomatic.
Yeah.
Be conscious. And then let's say, look, I don't appreciate this for my daughter. Can you please don't say, and they will understand where you're coming from. Because I live in America for 30-something years, and I know it. It happens. Because when they go and play within their group, another child with another color will tell them, oh, don't, it happened. So that's what like Sister B said, find the source and approach the source so that it doesn't repeat itself. Because trust me, if you don't do anything, it's going to happen again.
Thank you so much, Uncle Ade. I really appreciate you giving us your time. 2.5 hours. Wow. You're
And Sister
amazing.
B, you are wonderful. Guess what? Today's my birthday, and I decided.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Today
You
is
choose
your
the best.
birthday.
Yes. So
Wow, 20th
you
of
choose.
November. We have to sing for you. Happy birthday
Thank you,
to
Sister B.
you.
Thank you, Sister
Happy
B.
birthday to you.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, dear Uncle Ade.
Thank you
Happy
so much.
birthday to you. Oh, thank you
Appreciate that.
so much.
Because
I
it's
can't believe
really
you gave us 2.5 hours of your time on your
Oh,
birthday.
yes, of
Oh,
course.
God
Because
will
it's
bless you.
because it's a valid point. It's because
Oh, thank you
I
so
said,
much,
B,
sir.
you don't know what your show is doing to me in my life at my
Oh, thank
age.
you, Uncle Ade. I really appreciate you.
Your show,
Fan, please give a shout out to Uncle
your
Ade. Today is his birthday.
because
And
your platform,
he spent so much time with us today. Wow.
Because your platform is nourishing.
Thank
Your
you,
platform
sir.
is nourishing, is educative, is informative. So
Thank
I
you
cannot
so much.
go anywhere. Even my children, they say, Dad, what do you want for the what? I say, you guys give me anything that you want. Because their mom is not around, she's on business
You said
side.
so.
So but
Yeah.
I said, you guys, whatever you want. I said, and I told them since when I said, I have a show today.
We wish you many happy returns,
Thank
long
you so
life
much,
and
sister.
prosperity
Appreciate
in
you.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
From
Thank
strength
you so
to
much,
strength, so as
Amen.
your days, so shall your strength be.
Amen.
In the
Thank
mighty
you,
name
sister.
of Jesus, the Lord will continue to grant you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It will sustain you, will sustain your household. Your boys, God will bless them in all their endeavors in America, in Jesus' name. His protection will be upon them. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Happy birthday, sir. We honor you. We celebrate you. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Please enjoy your day.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye, sir. Wow. Wow, if I was in America now, I would have just gone to take Uncle Ade out, buy him dinner or something to celebrate him. What an amazing, amazing man. Imagine, he came on the show today on his birthday and gave us 2.5 hours of his time. How many people can do that? Wow. God bless you, sir. All the wisdom that you shared with us today, we appreciate it. Happy birthday, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So there's a lot of nuggets people have shared. If you are not able to join the show for whatever reason and you've raised boys successfully, the things that worked for you, share with us in the comment section. People are saying I should do part 2. When you can't even like the part 1, you're asking for part 2. The part 1 we are doing now, you didn't like it. We've got like 700 people that have been watching and it's only 270 likes that we have. Why am I doing part 2 when people cannot like part 1? I don't know. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here today. Really appreciate everybody that called into the show. Give us a thumbs up. Happy birthday, Uncle Ade. Thanks to everybody that called in to share their wisdom. And let's continue to do the best that we can. Raising children is the hardest job in this world. There's no even, we can't even deny that. It's got to be the most difficult, the hardest job. It's a 24 hours job, it's a lifetime job. It's not easy, but you know what? We learn every day, we grow every day. When we do something wrong, we correct ourselves, and we continue to improve ourselves. The place of discipline is very, very important. I don't want us to just think it's all kumbaya. We just love them, especially if you've got boys. For that person I was saying I can't remember who her name is. I was saying I have 3 boys under 10 and I'm struggling. Discipline, very, very important. You need to discipline them now. Very, very important too. At that age self, they might not even appreciate, some level of discipline where you tell them, go to your room or don't watch TV. If you need to, no one leg back, to ba ma no one leg back, no one need ba one need. Yeah, they say you shouldn't smack in this part of the world, but sometimes that smacking, yeah, is important, especially on that 10 at that age. Yeah, children understand it very quickly. Discipline them properly. Yeah, discipline and set boundaries. On that 10, they are giving you wahala. This is the time to reset. You need to reset their brain properly. Because when they become teenagers, that's the time they will just, they tend to even get more emotional, they get more wild, they become moody and all sorts. Yeah. Sometimes you need to smack. Yeah, you need to smack. Don't say, no. Uncle Ade said they never smacked. But me, I smack. Me, I'm not going to lie. I smack. I don't smack them anymore, obviously, because they are older now. But at that age, nothing works like smacking. In their bottom, bah, like this. Don't do it again. You will learn very quickly. So discipline is very important. So let's not. I forgot to say that. Yeah, no scratches. Perspective. Yeah, smack. I did smack. I'm not gonna lie that I never smack my children. All of them I smack them. I don't smack that much, but sometimes it's necessary. Okay, boys especially, they need it. They need it. Even the Bible said it. Spare the rod and you spoil the child. So that rod is you that will determine what that rod is. But they need it. Especially those ones under 10. At a certain age, you can't do it, but under 10, they are 6, 7, and they are giving you wahala. Make a sharp cane. They go balance. They go balance well. That's my very good advice I'm giving you. Trust me. Yeah. It's good for boys. Boys need it. Not too much of it, but occasionally. Make them dey chop cane. Make them get sense. Because sometimes, talking no dey work for that age. You go talk, they no go learn. Timothy, JB, you give them for nyash properly. You smack. You go jump up like this. You go say, hey, don't do it again. You go balance well. Because these children, they can frustrate you. Someone says you smack and pray. Yes, so they need it. They need it. It's not all love. When they do something, you can't love them, they hug them. No. So you need to know that, especially if your children are young, it's very important that you inculcate that discipline. That's what, when Mama Bear was saying, being firm. That's part of firmness, so discipline. No spoil them, oh. Don't spoil them, oh. Yorùbá ní ọmọ tí a bá kọ́ ó máa gbélé. Báwo lọ ṣe ń sọ? Ilé tá a kọ́ máa gbé tà. You go sell the house. If you no teach them, you go sell your house, so you don't know the time you sell your house. You go sell your house, so not let them sell your house. So you need to teach them. All right. I'm going to call it a night today. Thank you very much to everybody. I said 2 hours. Look at the time now. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, especially our Uncle Ade. God bless you, our darling brother. We really appreciate you. So on Tuesday, I have a very interesting topic that I want us to look at. How many of you have seen that video of the prophet and Martha, pregnant Martha and the prophet? Did you see this? Have you guys seen this on social media? You seen it? He says he's a prophet. You see all the jazz on the floor. Look at him on the pulpit here. And that's jazz here. And guess what he was doing? He went to another man's house to go and sleep with the man's house on their bed. And the most bizarre part of it is that that woman is pregnant. I've never seen a thing like that before in my life. Let's talk about it on Tuesday. What is going on? Women and their pastors and their prophets. It is well, Lou. That is our topic on Tuesday, so make it a date with us. Yeah, we'll talk about that on Tuesday. Give this video a thumbs up, especially those of you who are looking for part 2. Let's see how this video will do. How many people are interested in this topic? The only way I can know you are interested is for you to give it a thumbs up, share the video, get people to subscribe and like. So, yeah. Yeah. The Twinkle Gigi said, please make sure you won't get into legal trouble for smacking. In Scotland, for example, it's not a criminal offense. It's never a criminal offense anywhere. Smacking is not a criminal offense everywhere. There's nowhere that smacking is a criminal offense. Not criminal. It's not criminal. That's what's the other word? I'm trying to look for the word. It's not criminal. But I mean, I think we're all adults. When we're talking about smacking, you check now person go open on the mouth, they tell you now something. Everything that they talk, you don't know what it to do. You don't know the way when your parents they smack you, where they say nobody go know. You don't know. Okay, no talk saying Auntie B tell you say me you go smack when you go school. They'll call you, say you smack pikin. Now you know how you take smack and when mark no go there body now. Nyash, now be the big place in bum. Give a pack for there. You no go get any mark. You have to use your sense now. Use sense. Do it with sense. You are an adult for a reason now. Who be the pikin? Who be the adults? But I'm telling you, Boys, they need it to. Yeah, I smart. I no go lie. If you come my children house, then they will tell you I smart. So just use sense and do it in a way that you not get into trouble. Don't spoil them because we did obodoyibo and it is not allowed. It's not allowed. I beg, it's not any physical anything. Else perspective, leave matter. You are not injuring them. You are not doing anything harmful to them. You are resetting their brain. You need to reset their brain. I beg, forget that thing, no. Yes, spanking yeah. Ogbola ma fi ṣe. Ẹ máa dọ́gbọ́n sí ni. Oh, ọmọ tó máa jẹgba wá fúlẹ́gba tó máa jẹgba nice. Then he head go correct. These children, it is well. May God help us. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I deliberately left the spanking one to the end because I didn't want it to become controversial. So people will not come and say, Auntie Bio, is you, you're a social worker, you're telling people to smack. Okay. All right. It is well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on Tuesday night and we'll talk about the issue of matter. Yeah, factory research. No factory research children, they like reach that one. Give them for their bottom. They go get sense quick. Yeah, it work. It works more than talking. If you talk, occasionally you go do that one. Not be all the time, in a sense. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Give us a thumbs up, especially if you want those who are asking for part 2. Yeah, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Let's talk about women and their prophets. What happened in that video is the most bizarre thing I've seen in a long time. Why is a prophet going to a married woman's house and you go and be carrying her on her husband's bed with all those things on the floor, all those fetish things, and why did the husband post it online? It's going to be very, very interesting. Make it a date with us on Tuesday night. God bless you guys. Have a nice day. I love you. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.